Yep, everyone's saying yep. And there's a little bit of a delay here, so. All right, awesome. All right, we're gonna get started. So I had some cool pictures, but just bear with me. Now, if you go to my Instagram, they're all on there. You can see them. So my name's Christine Morel. If you guys have never met me, on video chat before, I'm going to tell you guys just a little bit about me so that you kind of get to know why I do this and why you should care, right? Because there's a lot of people online, there's a lot of people on YouTube that are out there trying to tell people what they need to do to create a music career. 90% of them don't even have a music career of their own, right? A lot of them are living at home with their parents, doing something else for a living. These are people that you don't want to be listening to. You want to be listening to people that are doing this for a living, right? People that are making music, people that are doing it, people that have had success in it, right? If you have something that you want to do, you need to make sure that you're learning from someone who's doing what you want to do, right? That only makes sense. So here we go. I can see the chat. I see a little box on the screen. All right, I think I can see you guys through. So I have been on a lot of different major networks. I've been on NBC, I've been CBS, Fox. I have been on Power 106 radio. If you guys are familiar with radio, Kiss FM. These are all major radio stations. These are major television stations. These are all major media. Usually you have to have a record label, you have to have a hit song, you have to have some sort of big accolade for you to be able to get on these things, right? Or you have to have a zillion followers or that sort of thing, or so they tell you. Anyways, they tell you that you have to do all those things. But the truth is you actually don't have to have any of those things. In fact, a lot of you guys on here probably have never even heard my music, right? A lot of you are like, I don't even know who you are. I just came here because I want to learn how to promote my own music, and that's fine. But a lot of you don't even know who I am, yet I'm making a living doing music. Yet I've traveled all over the world doing music. I make a great living. I own a home. I drive a BMW. I have a nice life. I'm not super rich and I'm not super famous. I'm not any of those things. But I make a living doing music. And I think most everybody here would love to do that, right? Some of you have jobs that you don't really like, or you're doing something that you don't really love. And so what I want you guys to think about today as I talk to you about these things, I want you to have an open mind, and I want you to come in with a positive spirit here, okay? Because I know sometimes we've gone through some hard things that sometimes kind of harden us, right? But we can go through hardships without being hard, right? We can be open-minded and we can be optimistic, because optimism is what's going to get us through this. Because if we want to be musicians, this isn't like a regular job. This isn't like, hey, I'm going to go to school, be an accountant, and then, go get a job or something like that. We're trying to be musicians, and then we're trying to get on TV. We're trying to get on radio. Like, we're trying to do some cool stuff. So we gotta stay positive here. So as we go through all this, we're going to start covering some really cool things here. So I want to just start out by letting you guys know, again, it's really important to learn from people who have done what you are doing. So what I've done is I've created a living doing music. If you're just joining me right now, I have been on Fox, NBC, Power 106, and Kiss FM, and I'm going to show you guys how I did it, okay? I've also been on Huffington Post. I have walked red carpets for all kinds of different events. I've been on the very front page of Yahoo. I have sang for LA Dodgers games. I sing for the NFL. I sing on huge stages. One of the biggest stages that I've sung on is for 20,000 people. I do radio interviews whenever I feel like it. I can book as many magazines as I want. Like, once you gain these skills, you can do it for yourself. Again, without a record label. You don't need a manager. You don't need a hit song. You don't need a big social media following. You don't need any of those things. And I've traveled the world. I've traveled 6 continents. I've gone on tour through like the French Polynesian islands. I've swam with sharks. I've done all kinds of cool stuff because of music. Music has taken me all over the world. So not only am I able to do music for a living, not only am I able to be on magazines and TV stations and get to do cool stuff whenever I feel like it, I also get to travel. I get to meet cool people. I have a really, really cool life. But like many of you guys here, that's not where I started. Okay, I didn't start just knowing what to do. In fact, I started probably very similarly to a lot of you guys, and I'll tell you a little bit. And let me see. I'm trying to see if I can see these messages as they're coming in. If you guys can put hey Christine, put that if you can see. Let me see. Let me go to the chat. There we go. There's the chat. There we go. So if you guys can see me, just say, hey, Christine, because I am trying to see you guys. See the chat box. I got a happy face from James. Let me see here. Make sure I have it. Put just a little response in that chat box. Just put anything, put we can see you okay. I just want to make sure everything's still going through okay for everybody. Because I am not seeing your chats anymore. Just want to make sure that I can answer any questions that you have. Okay, I'm gonna write. Can you guys hear me? Send to all. Everyone's saying yes. Okay, perfect. It's just being weird. All right. If I can hear you. Okay, great. So where I started in a little farm in New Mexico, right? I started like literally, I raised a pig. I worked in a tortilla factory. Like I didn't know anybody in the music industry. I didn't know anybody that did music. I didn't even know anybody that wanted to do music, right? And a lot of you are probably in a place where it's like, you know, your family's probably saying you're crazy. Your friends are probably saying you're crazy. Nobody really understands you. And I get it, because that's where I was. And we were very poor. We didn't have, you know, at one point we didn't have cable. We didn't have any television. We didn't have anything like that. I had like an old piano that I used to play on. And, you know, we didn't have, you know, lots of toys, or we never went out to eat. We didn't have anything like that. We lived in government housing. You know, I had high water pants most of my life. You know, we just didn't have a lot. And so I didn't have, you know, money or education. I didn't have resources. I didn't know anybody. I had to start from nothing. And a lot of you are starting from there. Some of you maybe have been in this business for a while. Maybe you're not starting from nothing. But regardless, I share this with you guys because I want you to know, and I want you to get inspired, because I started from nothing. I built my career absolutely from scratch. That if you're in that same position, you can do it too, right? I slept in my car. I've bathed in gas stations. Like I've had to get the gym membership so that I have a place to shower. Like I've done the whole starving artist type thing because of my passion for music. And a lot of you guys here feel the same way, right? You have this like passion and you don't want to do anything else. You don't want to go get a regular job, or maybe you have a regular job right now and you want to quit, or maybe some of you just want to have your music heard and that's why you're here. So I figured out how to make a life doing what I love. I figured out how to, you know, get on media, and I figured out how to do all these things with nothing. So I don't want you to come in here thinking, well, Christine, you can do it because, you know, you have music videos. You can do it because you have recordings. You can do it because I didn't have any of those things. I had nothing. I had no money. I was in the middle of New Mexico in a desert where there was nothing. I grew up on a farm. We didn't have internet like there is now. There was no social media like there is now. There wasn't all those resources. To be able to do what I did took a lot of me being very creative because I didn't have funds. I didn't have all those things. So I had to figure it out. And that's why I tell everyone, I'm like, hey, I did all this stuff with nothing. So if I can do it with nothing, some of you that have anything have more chances than I did, because I got rejected a lot. And I told you I made no money, and I just listened to what all these people were telling me I needed to do, and none of it was even correct, right? So the common myths here, right? How many of you have heard that you have to have a record deal? You've heard that you have to have a manager, that you have to have like 1 million plays on Spotify. I hate that one, guys. I have like 2,000 listeners on Spotify, but I'm making a living doing music. Spotify doesn't mean anything. Like this is a huge one that everybody's like, you get 750 streams on Spotify and you make $1. It's insane. You have to have 700 people watch to make $1. It's not something that is sustainable and doesn't help you in your career. So how many of you have heard that? How many of you have heard that you have to have 1 million, you know, Instagram people, that you have to be on TikTok and you have to be on Facebook and you have to do all these things? Do those things help you? Yes, they absolutely do. Can they help build your career? Absolutely. But there's some really cool things that we can do that you don't have to do those things, right? You can spend years and years and years building that up. But just because, and what I always tell everyone, I'm like, just because you're popular doesn't mean you're making any money, right? And just because you're making money doesn't mean you're popular. Like I said, I make a living doing music, and most of you probably have never even heard my music, and that's okay, because all that matters is that I've been able to me, I'm just excited that I get to do what I love every day. And it's been like this for almost a decade now that I get to do music. So that was a big one for me. So if you don't need all those things, right? If you don't need a record label, and you don't need a manager, and you don't need a hit song, and you don't need to be on Spotify, and you don't need to be any of these things for you to, you know, I'm telling you, you can get on all these major networks. You can book interviews. You can get your live, you know, some of you have original music. Some of you do cover songs, regardless of what you do. Some of you are rappers. Some of you are bands. Some of you are songwriters. Some of you may be managers here that are here today because you want to, you know, promote your artists. But you're probably thinking, well, if I don't need any of those things, because that's what you've heard your whole life, probably, you know, I have to build my Instagram, I have to build my Facebook, I have to, you know, do all these things. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But to hear now, hey, I don't actually need those things to get on TV. I don't need those things to get on radio. I don't need those things to get on media. You're probably like, well, then what do I need, Christine? You know, that, because that gets really confusing, especially if that's what you've been told your whole life. Remember, keep in mind who's telling you these things. Who's telling you it? Are they people who have done it? Or are they people who have not done it? You know, a lot of you guys are already on my list, or you bought books from me, or you follow me on Instagram, or you follow me on Facebook. If you've followed my journey, I do a lot. I usually perform 300 shows a year. You know, right now COVID is a little crazy, but I do those things. I live this life. So everything I tell you is from my experience. So the most important thing, and that I've always told everybody, and this is what everyone skips, and I want you to listen right now. If you're somewhere else, you're checking Instagram, checking Facebook, this is why you're here. You're here right now because you're a musician, you're an artist, you're a singer, you're a rapper, you're a band, and you've decided you're not going to be like everyone else and waiting for someone else to discover you. You come here because you're a do-it-yourself person. You're here going, I'm not going to depend on the rest of the world. I'm here to take control of my own career. So as you watch this, I want you to listen, because I'm going to share something with you that I didn't know. But once I figured it out, my whole life changed. To get on NBC without spending any money, everyone else is spending thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to get on NBC. So how did I do it, right? How did I do it with no money? So one thing that you have to keep in mind, okay, and this is the one thing that all the artists miss, is first, let's think about why television, radio, and media exists. Once we understand this, then everything else is easy. Television, radio, TV shows, think about your favorite shows that you watch. American Idol, right? The Voice, all those things, especially American Idol and X Factor. I was on X Factor. They exist not because they just have talented people on there, because if they just had talented people on there, a lot of you guys would have already been on TV. I'm sure that there is like an enormous amount of talent in this room that is more, I mean, listen to the radio. How many people do you go on there and you listen to the radio and you're like, this person shouldn't be on there. This person can't sing, this person can't write, this person can't do anything. Yet in this room, I probably have more talent sitting in this room right now than on the radio right now. So why aren't you on television? Why aren't you on radio? Why aren't you in magazines? Well, this is the big thing, okay? So television, radio, magazine, all those stuff, they exist for entertainment, okay? It's not to show the most talented person. It's not to show, you know, who can sing the best, who can play the best. Because just like for me, right, there's plenty of people that can sing better than me, write songs better than me, play instruments better than me, whatever. There's plenty more people talented than me. And there's plenty of people more talented and less talented than me. But what I realized was television, radio, what they needed was they needed to entertain their viewers. They needed to entertain their listeners, right? Imagine if you were a TV station and you had to pay rent, electricity, water, gas, all those things. And then you also had salaries, right? You're paying your TV anchors, you know, you're paying for those sets. Those sets are hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes. Those antennas that are outside cost millions of dollars. So you depend on advertisers, right, to spend money on advertising. So they have to spend money on advertising. So what happens is you have to get viewers, right? The way that they sell, the way that they make money is they tell, you know, like Bob's Burger Joint, hey, we have 100,000 viewers every single day. Therefore, you should pay us this much money. That's how they make their money. They make their money off of advertisers because they have viewers. So you as a musician, you can think one of two ways. You can go, one, I can either pay them to get on because they have bills to pay, right? Most people do pay them. But I'm here because I'm telling you, you don't have to pay them. So what's the second thing that you need to do then? So the second thing that you got to think of is if I can't pay them, right? If I'm not wildly famous, but I know that they need viewers, that viewers is what makes them money. And if I know that someone flipping through the TV is, sure, if I could sing, great, but I'm also competing with like Octomom giving birth to 8 babies, you know, like they're probably gonna watch Octomom over just someone singing and playing guitar really sweetly, right? So there's Octomom, this is just a funny example, but you're fighting against like then the news, which is negative, like uncle kills, 6 kids, like just terrible stuff, right? But people, for whatever reason, they gravitate towards that. So for you, you got to think you're constantly in competition with all these other things that are interesting or more interesting, right? All these types of things. So you have to think, what makes me different? What makes you different, and what will get you on TV, radio? Listen right now, I'm about to tell you. What will get you TV, radio, magazines is a story. Okay, keep this in your head. A story. That's what it is. So if you ever watch the news and they're like, what's the story? What's the story? It's a story. It's an interesting story. And as we get into it right now, you have to think about what's going to make me compete with everybody else. Why should anybody care? If I was going through TV, or as you go through Instagram, I mean, how many of you guys, sure, it'd be really cute if somebody's singing a nice little song, but then you see like so-and-so got in a fight with, and there's a video of people fighting, right? Why would they watch you over watching something else that's more entertaining? So you have to think about what makes my story entertaining. And I'm going to get into how we do this, okay? Because this is how I did it. When I first started out, I did a 25 city tour around the country. Now, if I had just been, hey, look at me, I'm a singer, NBC wouldn't have cared. There's a million other singers out there, right? What I did at that time was I work with children a lot, so I do a lot of charity and that sort of thing. So what I did was I combined the fact that I was singing and performing, but I said, this is my story. My story is I was performing for children at, YMCA's, Boys and Girls Clubs and all this stuff. And I also shared my story of how I had gone through physical abuse. I had gone through, domestic violence. I had gone through all these things in my life that I overcame, right? I was in abusive relationships with boyfriends that I could not get out of. I just wasn't strong enough. That was my story. My story was I went through X, Y, and Z, right? I went through all of these hardships and then continued to do music. And now I'm giving back to the community. Your story is probably very different than mine. Maybe it's similar. I don't know, but we're going to go into different ways for us to create your story. Is everybody kind of understanding this so far? Are you kind of getting where I'm going at? Please put in the chat box if you are. I'm looking here. I see Donna. Hey, Donna. I haven't seen you in a while. I've got Asian. I've got, let's see what you guys are doing here. Let me know if you guys are understanding this okay. Again, I've never used this software, so I'm lost, right? All I know is I hope that you guys can hear me okay and see me okay. Let me see where you guys are at. Let's see. Oh, it's so funny. Someone says, where's Luna when you meet her? Hey, Luna is my customer service rep. I don't think she's on today. There we got too much reverb on those vocals. All right, we got Stefan, 100% true here. Absolutely understand. Okay. All right, great. I just wanted to make sure that you guys can see this because I've already totally screwed up all this stuff. This software stuff is enough for me. I'm just a musician, so. But now that you guys got that clear, and feel free to put questions. As like I said, we're gonna get into questions here in a little while, but for the most part right now, I'm gonna keep going. So, that's the one thing that we have to really think about. And think about this, right? If you open a newspaper, if the headline says Bob Smith released an album, is that news? Maybe if you're Beyonce, if you're Beyonce, but Beyonce has already built all this stuff. We know her stories. She's done all kinds of crazy stuff. They, Jay-Z and her and, babies and all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, if you're Beyonce, but we're not. We're here because we're independent musicians. We're here because we don't have $1 zillion to spend on marketing and advertising. So you got to think about, okay, well, if, Christine Morel releases an album, is not news. What is news? So let's think about this. So let's imagine that your name is Sarah, right? Sarah Smith. Sarah Smith releases an album. Listen now. Are you going to click on that when you have a million other things that you can watch? When you can watch, car gets struck by lightning, baby survives, war bomb. No, you're going to look at all those other things because those are things that are way more interesting. But when you think about another headline, right? And I always think about my story in a headline. Like if you had to say what your story is within seconds. Listen to this one. Homeless artist records album while living in her van. Listen to Songs from My Dodge Van. Now, right? That's her album, Songs from My Dodge Van. It could be the same girl. It could still be Sarah Smith, right? But that's a very different introduction to media. You're telling media, when you're talking to these television stations, when you're pitching your story, when you're saying, hey, you should have me on your TV show because I can help you get ratings. Well, are you going to help them get ratings if you just say, hey, Sarah released an album? No, you're not, because that's not a story. Your story is, hey, yo, I was homeless. I recorded my whole album while living in a van. I've actually been parked at the park across the street where I've been recording for the last 6 months and living off of Spam sandwiches and singing from my guitar on the corner with my hat for quarters and dollars. That's a story, not releases an album. Okay, so that's a story. So we need to start thinking about ourselves in this way. If we want to get on media, we have to help them get their ratings because we can't expect people to do something for us if we're not doing for them. We have to give them value so that they do something valuable for us. So first we have to think. So there's a step-by-step process that I start with. Okay, first what we have to do. We have to think about what are we promoting first? Are we promoting a single? Are we promoting an album? Are we promoting a music video? Are we promoting a cover song? Is it original? Are we promoting a tour? Maybe you're doing a show coming up. Maybe you're doing a live stream. Maybe you're releasing a new t-shirt, whatever it is. You have to think about, first you have to establish what it is that you want to promote. What is it that we're trying to get out? What are we trying to drive people to? Okay, so after we figure that out, okay, whatever that is, each of you are different. Again, as you guys are sitting here, take notes. Put that in your first note. Put, what am I trying to promote, right? And I'm seeing this. I'm just trying to see if you guys have any questions too. I'm trying to check this while we're going through this. So ask yourself that, write this down. And you may not know right now, maybe some of you are here because you already have content you want to promote. Some of you may be here because you don't have content, but you're about to, right? So think about that. What is it? I got a single coming up. I got a show coming up. And then you have to ask yourself a few questions. The way we get viewers to watch is we get them to emotionally respond to us somehow, right? And what that means is we either make them laugh. If you guys have watched my advertisements, some of you have bought my books. My ads are just ridiculous, right? They're just funny stuff. Like I'm, dressed all crazy, riding a horse, and my brother's sitting on a toilet. If you haven't seen them, you're probably confused right now, but if you have seen them, they're crazy, right? They're funny. So that's what I chose. I chose that, I wanted to incite a certain feeling in people. I wanted to make people laugh, right? So there's a humorous thing. So is what I'm doing, ask yourself, funny? Is it inspiring, right? Are you inspiring people? Have you overcome some, amazing illness? Am I, I remember when I had slept in my car, and I remember thinking this really sucks. But in the back of my head, I thought this is not the end of my story. This is just the pages in my book. And in my book of my life, this is what's going to make it interesting. Because nothing's interesting if your life was all easy and everything handed to you. I thought my life is going to be so interesting because I may be sleeping in my van right now, and I may be taking a shower in that gas station over there, and I may be living off of Spam sandwiches, and I may be doing all this stuff, but I'm going to be successful. And this is all going to be part of my story. And some of you that are going through it right now, like kind of going through some hardships. There was a point where I was $20,000 in credit card debt where I mean, it was just the most stressful thing in the world, and I had no idea what I was going to do. Some of you are feeling that right now, but this isn't the end of your story. Where you're at right now is not where you're going to be. And you just keep that in mind. And like I told you guys, whenever you came into this, having this positive mindset is just as important as knowing the steps to get in media or steps to get your music heard. Because even if you knew what to do, if you felt terrible about yourself, it's going to be hard to make those things happen, right? It's going to be really difficult. So you're going to ask yourself, am I controversial, right? I know that, especially in hip hop, right? People are always dissing each other, talking smack to each other. Eminem's one of my favorites. Oh my God, he was crazy. I don't necessarily, agree with everything he said, but man, he knew what he was doing. And I don't know if that was, something that he thought about, but he was a genius in that way, and that he created so much controversy. And he talked about everybody, and he didn't care, and he just said some of the craziest things. And he was also very talented. I mean, he was also very, great at what he did, but it brought so much attention to what he did. So ask yourself that question. Is what I'm doing controversial? Is my songs controversial? Am I controversial as an artist? Is my tour controversial? Is it current or trending? That's a big thing to think about, right? I had a student that I was working with, and he had watched one of my trainings, and he came to me. He said, I have to thank you. I'm going to be on the CW next week. You guys know the CW? That's like a major television station, which I thought was really cool. So, and he said, I have to thank you. I got on the CW. And I was like, very cool. Like, what'd you do? Like, I want to know what you did. And so what he did was he released this love song, right? It didn't have anything to do with what was currently trending at all. But what he did was he was making masks for the local hospital. He took the money, I think the money that he made from it, or I forgot exactly what he did, but whatever it was, the song had nothing to do with COVID, but what he was doing with the masks and giving it to the hospitals did. And so when he reached out to media, he let them know, hey, this is a great headline. Artist, out of work, right? Because due to COVID, release his song and donates proceeds by creating masks for local hospital. Do you see how that's a story? That's a story because it's current and it's trending. It's relevant to what's happening right now. There's always stuff that's going on in the world, right? There's stuff that's going on locally, right? There's stuff that maybe you are, performing with a local band. That's a story. Or you're performing with the mayor, you're performing at the mayor's house, or maybe you're performing in front of Walmart. Maybe you're selling your music in front of Walmart so you can pay for college expenses. That's an awesome story. Everyone wants an underdog to win, right? Everybody wants the underdog to win, always. Don't be ashamed to share that story. Don't be ashamed to say, this is where I am, but this is not where I'm going to be. Okay, because it's not. This isn't the end of your story. This is just the beginning, or maybe this is the climax. Maybe this is the part where it's like starting to you're starting to maybe see some results, or maybe you haven't at all. Maybe it's just been a really hard year. We're coming out of one of the hardest years for everybody. What was your story during COVID? What did you do? There was a dancer. I met her husband recently, and he said that there was a contest recently, and they were talking about people who had done something for other people during COVID, right? And you had to send in your story, what you did. And his wife was a dancer, choreographer here in Vegas. So I'm in Vegas right now. But she was out of work, right? All the Cirque du Soleil shows are closed. Everything's done. None of the auditoriums are open. So what she did was she created a YouTube channel. She created a YouTube channel and, started having all her musician friends, dancer friends, everybody got on there and recorded a video, and people started to donate, right? She started to gather donations and gave that to all her musician friends and dancer friends. And that's how they survived, right? So she was a dancer. She wasn't necessarily a musician, but all her friends were too, right? Dancers, singers, entertainers. Well, there was her story made it very easy for local media to want to talk about that, right? That's a story. Local dancer out of work, creates YouTube channel and generates money for all her musician and dancer friends. That's a story, not just here's a great choreographer dancing. that doesn't tug on any heartstrings. It doesn't create, you know, a emotional response, right? The story of so-and-so releases a music video is not a story. The only people that are going to care are people who are already fans of yours, but we're not trying to reach fans of yours. We're trying to get on major media. So those are the things that you need to ask yourself. You need to ask yourself, is it sexy? Right? And what I'm doing, is it sexy? Like we have to elicit some just sort of emotion. Is it sexy? Is it inspiring? Is it motivating? Is it going to piss people off? Is it going to make people angry? Is it controversial? Is it interesting? What is interesting about us? And as I'm going through this, start writing these things down. Start writing your story. Think about right now what you've gone through. Were you born on a kitchen table in the middle of a forest? That's a story. And now you write songs about it. You know what I mean? Are you, you know, did your grandmother who passed away from cancer always tell you to do what you love? And now you're pursuing your dream because of that. That's a story. Like all of this, we have to have a story for us to get on this media. Is everyone, you know, kind of getting, you know, understanding what I'm getting here? So I'm looking at the comments. Let me see if anyone's asking any questions or anything. Let's see, everyone's saying true, smiley faces. Let me know if everyone's understanding so far or have any questions about what I'm talking about. I'm looking at the chat. If anyone has any questions, I'll give you a few more seconds. Looks like you guys are understanding everything. Okay, let me just check one more time and make sure I'm looking at this okay. I know I have a place for questions here. Let me check here if anyone's asked anything. There's like a special box if you have questions that you can put on here as well. There we go. Okay, all right, everybody seems to understand everything. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna give you guys a few examples, okay? We're talking about what's interesting about your project, okay? Someone could just say, let's say you're a Latin band. Latin band releases album of, you know, songs. That's not a story, right? But the Latin band Caliente, I just called it Caliente just because, releases albums of lyrics created from love letters they found between deceased parents. That's emotional. That creates some sort of response, right? Like if I was someone and maybe my parents had passed away, or even if they hadn't passed away, I love my parents. And if I thought there was this band that created these albums because they found these love letters, you know, written to each other between their parents, now they wrote songs from it, that's a story, right? Not only that, you could then find media that maybe there's certain websites, right, that just highlights, you know, family-oriented music, family-oriented things. And now if you reach out to them, they're gonna love your story. They're gonna wanna include you, right? So that's something that we can think about, right, with that. Let's see here. Finding something that's interesting. Another thing is, you guys know like Billie Eilish, right? Of course, everybody knows Billie Eilish. So her stuff is very interesting. Why is it interesting? It's interesting because her and her brother recorded their songs in their bedroom, right? They recorded their songs in their bedroom. They didn't have a record label, big budget, nothing like that. They didn't have anything, right? That's the underdog story. Again, everybody loves that. When I talk about Billie Eilish, that's what everybody says. Everybody says her and her brother recorded this album in their bedroom. That's awesome. That's an awesome story because there's a lot of other artists out there that are doing the same thing. People are going to want to hear about that. You know, television stations are going to want to cover that. They're going to, as she's releasing music on YouTube or releasing music out there, people want to hear about that. That's a great story, right? What's inspiring about your project? Okay, we're going to get back to inspiring. Some of you guys are dealing with certain things. So I wrote down a few ideas, right? These are just examples. You know, mental health is a big thing. You know, especially amongst musicians. Some of you guys are here. It was probably hard for you to get out of bed in the morning. I know for me, it was. For 10 years when I was struggling, for 10 years, I slept on couches. I was going door to door selling my music. I was literally knocking on people's doors, singing on people's doorsteps, asking people to buy my album, hundreds of doors a week. I would probably knock on 90 doors a day, right? And most people would slam doors in my face. Most of them did not care about me. They would scream at me. They would yell at me. They would tell me to get off their property. I cried so many times because people were so mean, because people were so, so cruel to me. And that's my story, right? That's part of my journey. I wrote down, indie singer tried to commit suicide, creates music video to share her story of survival. That is an amazing, inspiring story, that it's not only going to bring attention to what you're doing, but it's going to also have a big effect on other people in the world. And I think there's nothing better than that. I think there's nothing better than to be able to share your story and know that there's a reason, like there's absolutely a reason that you guys are here right now. And then there's a reason that many of you have experienced what you've gone through. All right, like I told you guys that for me, like the stuff that I've survived is, domestic abuse, abusive relationships, physically abusive relationships, mentally, spiritually, all that stuff. Situations where, at one point I was fighting off an ex-boyfriend, and he pulled out a gun and said he was gonna kill me. And he kicked down the door and he had the gun and he cocked the gun back and said that's what he was gonna do. He was gonna do that. Right? I don't know if you guys have experienced anything like that, but it's scary as hell. Very scary. I was like 21 years old. And as he's staring at me and as I'm laying in my bed, I'm just thinking, what's going to happen? He starts shooting into the ceiling. So there's like bullet holes in the ceiling, right? And so I'm hearing guns going off. So I know the guy's he's not lying, right? That story is the story that I shared when I booked my shows in schools. That's the story that I shared when I got on these news stations. That's the story that I shared when I talked to magazines. I was transparent and I shared what made me stronger, wiser, and what made my music so important to me. Because to me, I thought, this is what I love and I can change the world. And a lot of you guys are here and a lot of you guys have been through some things that you need to share. There's Chad. Chad, will you help me really quick? I've been trying to share my screen with all my attendees. I got a few hundred people in here right now, and it's just not, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Everyone say hi, Chad.
Hello, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. They should be seeing your screen now.
Okay.
So let me open that up so you can do.
Okay, so they can see. All right, let's see. Oh, wait, and then is this, am I looking at the right chat box here?
Yeah.
So does it come in on the top or the bottom?
Bottom. So let's scroll all the way down, right? Yeah. So are they talking right now? Can you guys say something? And hello? Okay, it's at the top. So.
No, see, but that's been there for a while. That's why there's something wrong here.
How about now? Is this a new one?
No.
Never seen it. Only Christine.
No, I managed to like screw up the software. I don't know what that
I do these every day.
Thank you guys for being patient, by the way. We're getting into the good stuff. I know. I don't know. I moved it here. Maybe you could put it back there. I don't know. What I'm doing.
Okay, so if we click this, you're so funny.
I know.
She is great. I love her. Anytime I need a good laugh.
I just managed to screw everything up, but.
I just have Christine around. Yeah. So can you guys type in the chat for us real quick? Let me see.
See, like this comes through, like someone typed that artist story goes through abuse in foster home. That's a.
Yeah. Is this all new?
No, that's been there.
That's so weird.
I don't know. It's been like that for a while. I'm sorry, guys, if you guys have been asking questions or anything like that, because I haven't really been able to see too much here.
Yeah, I don't know where they. Let me try this, and let's see if it's over here. Okay, and if I undock that. question. Hold on a minute. How about, I don't even see the time where they asked.
No.
Question and asker.
If you guys want to write in any questions that you have, and I can kind of take a look at this and see if I'm able to see your questions, because we're about to get into it right now.
Can they at least see your screen?
See, I don't know, because I can't see their
Uh,
I can't see their responses.
okay, hold on a minute. Hold on just a second. Let me see. Asker. So if I go this way, and if I go this way, okay. Understand.
Not able to see their questions.
If we have, hold on, let me check something real quick. Yeah, I've never, okay, so she's an organizer. So I'm gonna go see what she can see, but they can see your screen right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna turn this back on. Let me see. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
That's okay. I'll just keep going. All right, guys, we're gonna keep going because the show must go on, and it's okay. Let me pull up my notes here so I can help you guys. All right, so that is back to, we're talking about, you know, what you're going through and going, talking about, let me put my screen back on, going through back to not feeling ashamed of what you're going through right now, knowing that as entertainers, like I've really always felt like we needed to, I always felt like, even for me, I felt like some of those things that I went through were so necessary for me to be able to impact people with my music. Because I've never met musicians that are like, I don't want to change the world, or I don't want to help people. Like almost everybody here wants to somehow change the world, right? Whether that be entertain people and make people excited, whether that be, you know, donate lots of money to charity, or whether that mean like, let's, you know, just help people through heartbreak, or let's help people deal with stuff. You have been through what you've been through because you have a story to tell through your music. Let that sit with you. Whatever you've been through, whatever hardships you've been through, whether it be heartache, whether it be, you know, you loss of loved ones, whether it be financial problems, whatever it is, you have been through those things so that you can share your story and impact the world with your music and through your music. And as long as you understand that, then you don't have to feel so ashamed about some of those things that you've been through. Anything working?
Yeah, they can see your screen. They're seeing this.
They're seeing that. Okay, cool. All right, great. That's good to know. All right, well, we got one thing working. I'm sorry, guys, I can't see your questions right now. I'm going to try to figure that out, kind of, but I'm just
log onto there for you?
Yeah, you can log onto my computer.
Okay, yeah.
See if that.
And Sarah can see all the questions.
Oh, Sarah can see all the questions? Oh, well, just log on that then, and then I can see their questions here. Okay, I think we're figuring it out. All right, so let's go on. Another great inspiring headline, right? Indie band welcomes Iraq troops in online ceremony, right? That's something local that's going on. It's something that's relevant to what's going on, right? Like I remember I performed at, you know, my father had gone to Iraq, and when he came back, I performed at his welcome ceremony. That is a story, right? Are we in there? Oh, shoot. Okay, there we go. So that's something that's inspiring. Something else that we can ask ourselves is, actually, I did want to tell you guys a story, because do you guys remember, do y'all remember Fantasia from American Idol? I think the song was something about Believe. It was beautiful. The song was just gorgeous. I cried the whole time she performed. She won that show. Yes, she was talented. Absolutely. That woman can sing her ass off. So can everybody else. But her story was incredible because she had driven across the country. She was a single mom, drove across the country, stood in line, auditioned, made it on the show, won the show, right? Sang this beautiful song, had like a gospel choir behind her. I mean, she was crying. I was crying. Like, I was like everyone wanted her to win, right? They wanted her to win because of what she'd been through. They love that she shared her story. They love her transparency, because in all reality, everyone has been through something, right? And she, not only did she win, and she won $1 million and a record contract, and everybody loved her, they made a movie out of her story. It's important for you to think about what elements of your life have made a story for you, okay? It doesn't always have to be hardships. It doesn't always have to be heartbreak and that sort of thing. Maybe you're just really funny and you make people laugh, and you make people laugh because, you know, you like the way that it makes you feel, and you have skits, and, you know, maybe you're doing all kinds of stuff. Like, there's just so many different things that you can think of. Again, back, is it interesting? Is it inspiring? Maybe you're just sexy. Maybe that's your thing, and you love to, like, just make people get away from their life for a while, and you're just like singing and dancing, and that's wonderful too. You're entertaining people, you're helping them escape from their lives. That's a story too. So that was, you know, the inspiring Fantasia. That's a story of like something that's inspiring. Is it progressive or is it controversial, you know, about your project? I've seen some really cool things. There was like a good, let's say you're a gay artist, right? Gay artist preaches self-love on U Tour. That's a wonderful story, right? You know, and buy tickets now. You know, you being transparent with who you are. Now you can actually reach out to the LGBT community, the gay community. There's tons of, you know, media outlets out there that are going to want to share your story because you've shared that you're gay or lesbian. That's part of your story. And you've had to go through certain things in your life and certain types of discrimination, or maybe, you know, not feeling entirely secure about yourself. But now you're saying, here I am, this is who I am, I'm making music, buy a ticket to my tour. Now who's gonna care about that? A lot of people are gonna care about that. They may piss some people off, people that are, you know, have judgmental issues. There's gonna be a lot of people out there that are gonna support you. There's gonna be a lot of those media outlets, you know, and those are the media outlets you're gonna reach out to. You're gonna reach out to people who find those things very valuable. You know, they want, especially like LGBT community, gay community, if that's your story, share it. Be as transparent as you possibly can, right? So then we have, do you guys remember those, there was this lesbian group, all the things you said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. I can't remember the name, but they would literally make out in the videos. It was like two women, I think they're from Europe or something, and then they would make it on stage. I mean, they just went far with it. Whatever you end up doing, you do whatever's comfortable for you. But I'm just sharing with you guys that these are all interesting. These are controversial, right? At the time, it wasn't as like accepted. You know, this was like 15 years ago, something like that, 20 years ago. We were like, oh my God, two women are making out. This is crazy. You know, it was like the biggest deal in the world. Now it's not. People are like, whatever. I see that. My neighbors do it all the time. Nobody cares. But it was shocking, and it was, you know, this very interesting, you know, thing that people were doing, you know, to bring, you know, at the time there was a lot of discrimination, you know what I mean? So there was like this fight. There was a fight between the judgmental people and the people who were like, no, there is no judgment here. We're accepting, we're alive. And I just thought it was a really cool thing for them to do, because they, you know, had to face a lot of adversity, but they were like, screw you guys, we're making out in the video. And it brought a lot of attention to the song. The song was great, and it brought a lot of attention to the song. Eminem was the king of that. Again, back to Eminem. I mean, he dissed everybody: Mariah Carey, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, his own mom, his child's mom. Doesn't mean that I'm telling you guys this is the way to go. I'm just bringing up these artists, that these are things to think about as we learn about the history of which artists, you know, were always in media. Lady Gaga wearing a meat dress. You know, you don't have to go wear a meat dress, but understand that doing something that says something, right? That was shocking. And it made people go like, why is she wearing a meat dress, right? Why is she doing that? And whatever you're doing, incite some sort of emotion. Again, not so-and-so releases a song. No, Lady Gaga, they didn't even talk about her songs half the time. They talked about what she was doing. She was just dressed crazy. You know, she did the sexual thing where she was like half naked. But then she was also talented, and she had all these other things going on, but she brought attention to her music in her way. Her way was shocking. Her way was, you know, those types of things. Also, let's talk about what's current about your project. I remember when, and And this is just another angle. You just have to figure out what's your angle. I remember when Chris Brown and Rihanna, when all that stuff happened. And I remember there was a group, there was like an R&B group that came out, and they had like a single that I don't remember what it was called, but I remember they got a lot of press because at the time there was that controversy. They made the song specifically because what was happening, and they got press because of it. I also came up with a little title, you know, hip hop artist releases video, fuck masks, right? Boycotting new COVID restrictions. That's current, that's trending, right? That's something that's going on. So let's say you were releasing something. I can see it now.
Who's your hero?
Thank you, Chad. Everybody say thank you. Thank you, Chad. Okay, I can see your questions now. Okay. Yep, these people good. Yep, they're saying thanks, Chad. Thank you, Chad. Yay, success. Okay, I can see your questions now. I'm sorry, guys. I can see it now. So that's just an idea, right? You can actually release music based on what's happening in the media. And then you reach out to these TV stations, radio stations, magazines, share your story. People that know, hey, COVID's a big deal right now. You know, Trump was a big deal, probably still is. You know, people love to hear about him, whether they love him or hate him, right? So hip hop artist releases video, fuck masks. You know, that's his song name. Boycotting new COVID restrictions. You know, hits 100,000 plays, watch below. You know, Latin artist releases single, Walls Won't Keep Me Away, after Trump approves budget to build Mexican border wall, right? Now, I don't know if that ever happened. I don't know if there was a budget that got approved, but I'm just using that as an example because that was a big deal for a while, right? And it's been a big deal. At that time, I remember when all of those things were happening with the wall and all that kind of stuff. This is how I got on the LA Dodgers gig. This is how I sang because they decided, right? Because I'm living in Los Angeles at the time. They were pro Latin people, you know, they're saying, let's accept everybody. So then they had this special night that was like Latin night, or I forgot what they called it, like Hispanic heritage, something like that. Well, I'm Mexican. So I happened to be there, available in Los Angeles, got the call, and they said, we need a Latin artist to sing the national anthem in 48 hours. I was like, hell yeah, we'll be there at the LA Dodgers game, right? Who I am was also current with what was going on, right? When you find out that people are looking for a Latin artist for something, if you are Latin, at that point, even that's part of your story, right? Part of my story, my family comes from Mexico. My mom didn't even speak English coming to this country. I was the first person born in this country in my intermediate family. That's part of my story. I can use that whenever there's Hispanic Heritage Night at the LA Dodgers game, right? This is how we use what's relevant about current and, you know, pop culture or what's happening in the news or what's trending to our advantage, right? And it's really cool because we get to do that. I'm looking at this right now. Everyone says thank you, Chad. I'm going to open this a little bit more so I can see your. I'm seeing this. Someone says someone has ADHD. Yes, that's a possible story. Absolutely. Is it possible to get you as a mentor? I'm going to be talking to you guys about that here in a little while. You know, different Puerto Rican and Dominican, but don't speak any Spanish. Yep. Someone says, I remind you of Tinashe. Okay, I'll take it. So these are all just things to think about, right? Is all this making sense? Am I missing anything? Let me know if you have any questions up so far, because now I can see your questions. So if this, I hope this is like, because this is just the big thing that everyone misses. Like, this is the big thing. They think that, well, I'm talented. I'm more talented than the next person on, you know, but that's not your story, right? Talent isn't a story. If it was a talent show, then yeah, sure. If it's a talent show, you know, you're trying to perform at your local school, then fine. But we're not trying to do that. We're trying to get on television. So is everyone making sense? Everyone says making sense. Aramis, I don't know if that's how you say your name. Says it's been great so far. Sakura says, for me, being trans is part of my story and climbing into music production. I love that. I love that that's part of your story. And it's hard, guys. Sometimes it's hard to share that. Like, it was really hard for me to talk about, like, the domestic abuse, and it was hard for me to talk about, like, even now, there's just a lot of things that are hard, right? I'm a single mom. You know, I was pregnant and single, right? My child's father decided not to be around. And I had to go through you know, at the time I was performing a lot. I was performing around Vegas. That's how I made a living. So some of you guys know me because that was what I used to teach everybody most of the time, was how to book shows. When COVID hit, everything was canceled. For the last year, I haven't done, I mean, I've done some private parties here and then, but it wouldn't have been enough to support myself. I happen to make a living also online with my music, but I left to New Mexico for like a year to get help for my family. Raising a child is hard, and talking about it is hard. And whatever you've been through is probably hard to talk about. Sometimes it's embarrassing. Sometimes you're worried about what people are going to think about you. My sister's married to a woman. My sister's gay. And she was so scared of telling her parents, our parents, my mom too. She was so scared of talking about that. It was so scary because we came from such a conservative family, right? It was scary for her to talk about things. Once again, I'm going to say it again. You've been through what you've been through so that you can share your story with the rest of the world and impact the rest of the world with your music. You were given this gift, not just so you could go sing songs and look cute or whatever. You have a story to tell, and that story will do more for the world than just being talented will, right? Your voice, your rapping abilities, your musician abilities, or if you're a manager, whatever it is. If we can impact the world and we can change the world through our music, whether it just be making people happy and excited or inspiring and motivating them or healing them, we're doing something really fantastic, right, as an artist. And if we can also get fans and followers and build a career, all this stuff can work out simultaneously, right? Megan says, so I'm allowed to be weird? Yes, you could totally be weird. I was going door to door selling my music on doorsteps. Anybody that knows me knows I'm really freaking weird. So yes, Megan, you're absolutely allowed to be weird. Megan says, because I've been holding back. Don't hold back, right? A lot of you guys, as I'm telling you these stories, how is it affecting you, right? Think about this. Imagine if I had just come here and said, these are the steps to do. But then I'm also sharing with you guys the stories of my life, right? The hardships of my life, the things that I've been through. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel like you can do it too? When I tell you guys that I didn't have any money, I didn't have any resources, I didn't know anybody, I lived in my car, I bathed in a gas station. Doesn't that make you feel like you're able to do that too? Because now here's this girl, she did it, right? She didn't have any money. She was going door to door. She never had a regular job. Then I can do it too. Your story can make people laugh and just, you know, make people have a better day, or it can inspire, motivate people, or you can make people feel like they can do something amazing too. And that's why I'm here. Honestly, I'm here for that. I'm here, and that like I told you guys, I really feel like the things that I've been through were there because not only was I supposed to make music, but I'm supposed to be here right now. This is part of my story. I'm here with you because this is part of my journey as well. There's someone here, there may be 100 people in this room here that are going to take what I say and go change your life. And this may stick in your head forever. And maybe it'll click a year from now or 2 years from now, or maybe it'll click next week. I've had people write me, you know, within 7 days, hey, I got booked on major television. And some of you may take a little while, but you're here for a reason. And I'm here for a reason as well. So James says, what you're saying is spot on. Awesome. Donna says, thank you for sharing. It always inspires me to go forward. I love that you're here, Donna. Thank you so much for joining me. Aria says, you're amazing. I just lost my grandma who I take care of. Single mom as well. Single mom club. Woo woo, girl, you got this. Sorry to hear about your grandma. All right, you have a phenomenal message, Chloe. Awesome. Asian, you used to sell door to door too? Okay, I don't meet a lot of other door to door salesmen. I told you guys earlier I was selling my music door to door. Sammy says, yes, making an impact on people's lives with the God-given talents that the Lord has given you. Absolutely. I'm looking at a few things, guys. I can't get to all of these, right? I'm just kind of reading a few as we go. Robert says, both my parents passed away from cancer and my best friend was murdered. Yes. I come from a very small, violent town. Many of my friends were murdered. My boyfriend at the time, his brother and his father was murdered. I had bullet holes in my car and bullet holes in the front of my house. It was a very normal thing where I came from for things like that to happen. In fact, I didn't know it was weird. Like, I didn't know that wasn't normal until I left and I started getting out into the world and realized it's not normal for your friends to die. like that, especially from violent murders. You know what I mean? That's part of my story, was always in fear. I was scared about it. I talk about it. One of my songs, I wrote a song called Young Soul. And in that I talk about when my ex-boyfriend pulled a gun out on me. That was really hard for me to talk about that. In fact, I never talked about it at first. I just put it in the song because I'm like, I can't talk about it. I'm too scared because it's just crazy. And it was traumatic. But here it is in my song. And I've had so many people reach out to me because of it. And I talk about how nobody believed in me. And I talk about how I packed all my things and I moved to LA and I just decided I was going to make it. And that was it. That was my choice. I was going to make it and I didn't care if I had to spend the rest of my life trying to do so. I was going to make it happen. So, you know, some of you, Robert, you said both your parents passed away from cancer. I had a headline on here that I thought was really, you know, and this is a sad and heartbreaking story, but it can also be very uplifting, especially if you're creating music, Robert. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that resonate with that. And I had put, artist loses mom to cancer, shaves head in music video, dear mom, right? That's your single, dear mom. That's such a beautiful story. It's beautiful because you're winning in all these ways, guys. This is a double win. You're getting people to pay attention to your music. You're making an impact. You're healing yourself and you're healing other people. Do you see how that's like, there's so many things that go into this. It's not just about getting our music heard. It's about sharing what makes us so impactful. We are so powerful human beings. I don't think there's anything more powerful than music, right? I mean, if you guys remember Eric Clapton, would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Beautiful song. One of my favorite songs ever. Everyone knows the story behind that song, right? Maybe some of you are millennials, you may not know the song, but he came home and I think he came to it was a hotel or an apartment and someone had been cleaning and the housekeeper left the window open. And his son, who was, I don't remember his age at the time, very young boy, ran, didn't know the window was open, fell out of the window and passed away, right? And he wrote this beautiful, beautiful song. Gosh, would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? That's so powerful, right? That song has survived decades. Most of us don't even know what was #1 last year, right? Because it's just some song where people are like, you know, I'm in the club, whatever. And not to take that away, because there's plenty of dumb songs that I love, right? Plenty that I play all the time. But when Eric Clapton comes on, that type of stuff is like, that really gets to me, right? So don't be afraid to share your story. Don't be afraid to talk about those things, to be transparent, to talk about those things that people, because people are going to love or hate you no matter what you do, right? They're just going to hate. I get death threats. Like I literally get death threats. I get people that are like, I'm going to come kill you with a machine gun. I get them all the time. Like I get people that are like, you know, if you've seen my ads, I get tons of stuff on there. I get weird people, I get scary people, I get threats, I get all kinds of stuff. If I listened to those people, I wouldn't be here helping you right now. There's a lot of you are going to take what I say right now and you guys are going to go use it and it can change your life and it can absolutely change your music career and change your whole outlook on everything. But if I listened to what people told me, I might not do that, right? Because I'd be worried about what people think. So it's very important to do that, to just not worry and just put it out there, right? Another example of sexiness, right? Because sexuality is a big part of what I do. I mean, I just released a music video today where I'm like in like my underwear shaking my butt, no shame, right? And that's why I say like sometimes it's just sexy. For me, I created this album when I was going through a lot, right? Going through a ton of hard issues, and I wanted to escape it. And I wanted anybody that came to my shows to not think about whatever they're going through. And I remember one time I did this show and I did the whole night like Latin and like I mixed a lot of like really cool, fun, upbeat stuff. I didn't really do anything emotional because I was just dealing with so much that I just didn't want to go there. I just thought, you know what, if I can make these people escape for a minute, I'll have done my job. And I remember this woman came up to me. I went to the restroom and this woman came up to me and she said, I want to thank you. I haven't been out in, I forgot, like 2 years or something. She said, I have cancer. And she said, and my doctor has given me 6 months to live. And she said, I haven't done anything. She said, my friends dragged me out to be here. And she said, and I haven't had this much fun in a year. And all I thought was, you know what? I'm not even doing anything that crazy. I'm just singing. I'm just doing what I love up here. You don't know the kind of impact that you have on people, and getting your stuff out to media, getting your message out there, getting it on television, getting it on radio is going to help spread your message in ways that, and you're going to affect people in ways that you don't even know. I get messages like from people that are like, I was committing suicide. I was thinking about committing suicide. I've wanted to die. And because I attended your webinar, or because I heard your song, or whatever it is, I have newfound hope, or I've healed. And we owe it to the world, because we've been given this gift, to share it. Okay, we do. So it's really, really important that we share our story. There's a reason we go through these things, because there's people out there that need us, and they need our music, and they need our story to continue on. Okay, so I'm gonna keep on. I'm just gonna I'm so passionate about that stuff, so I could go on that forever. So or something funny. Do you remember that song? She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy, right? That's just a funny song. Like I don't even know who sings that song, because I don't listen to country music. Some of you guys are like, probably think I'm crazy, because I'm sure that was like a really big artist. But how funny is that? Maybe your song is just a funny, like my Latin album, like I have a song on it called I Fell in Love with a Gringo. Okay, if you're Hispanic, you know that that's a white man, you know, and it's just very funny. I fell in love with a gringo, and the whole song is like my dad says he's gonna, shoot him with the shotgun. Like all the lyrics are just hilarious. Like there's not a love song. It's not heartbreaking. It's not inspiring. It's nothing. It's just funny. I fell in love with the gringo. I fell in love with the gringo man. That's all I'm doing. That's a funny song. Maybe that's your thing. What is it? And if that's, and for me, I tell my story because I grew up in New Mexico. I'm Latin. That got me singing on a LA Dodgers game. Like you never know what different elements of your story are going to get you on. Another thing is creating curiosity, right? You can create curiosity with your story. And I came up with a example headline, right? Rapper's girlfriend cheats with his best friend. His freestyle video is priceless. Or see his response in the video. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know how you always see those types of ads on like Yahoo that are like, girl gets, called racist slur. See her response now, and you were like, whoa, what happened? Like, because it doesn't tell you what happened in the headline. So you have to click on it, even if it doesn't even end up being that interesting, because you have to figure out what it is. You can do that with your music too, right? So, that's another thing to think about. So now that we've gotten through kind of like the emotions that you're going to create, that you're thinking about with your story. Now we want to talk about what makes your story newsworthy. Is it local? Is it national? Or is it global? Right? Because I'm going back to like when I performed for the troops that were coming home from Iraq, for example. That was newsworthy. I got in the newspaper, I booked radio and all that kind of stuff, but just locally, because that was local news. So it's also important for you to think about, if I only have so much time, right, then you need to reach out to media outlets that are relevant to your story. So I'm not going to go reach out to like Canada and be like, hey, I'm performing for, the Iraqi troops coming home in Roswell, New Mexico. Maybe someone might find that newsworthy. I mean, it's possible that I'll still get, booked, but why am I going to spend so much time there? Rather, it makes more sense for me to reach out to local news, everyone in Roswell, right? I'm going to build my fan base right there really hard, because here's an opportunity for me. Every radio station's going to care. Every television station's they're going to care. They want to hear about that. It's local news. And not only that, at the time, people could actually physically attend. So it was something that was heartwarming. It was inspiring, right? There's men that have been at war for 18 months. My dad was one of them. He came home. It was amazing. So you have those. So that's heartwarming and inspiring, but it's also heartwarming and inspiring that I'm performing for my dad, like I'm performing there for my dad and all his, men that were out there putting their lives in danger, for our country. And I'm a musician trying to just make it in. They say it, I'm like, that's a really good story, right? So here, internet's being weird. All right, let me try this. How about now? Are you guys able to see me now? You're saying it's glitching a little bit. I'll wait till it fixes. Let me know if it's hey chat, it says the internet's slow. Everyone says it's lagging and glitching, but I don't know if it's. Can you guys let me see. Let me see. How about now? Okay, everyone say it's working now. Okay, cool. All right, we're good. So you're going to think about what? It's making fun of me because there's everything's going wrong, but it's okay because I'm having a really good time with you guys.
You're being tested.
I know I had to do all this stuff. They couldn't even see my slides or anything. We've just been talking, but I just feel like this has been better anyway because I feel like I'm like having more of a personal.
You're a rock star. Is that not like real life? Like things?
Yeah. Okay. Let me tell y'all a quick story because this is funny. Chad was at one of my shows once, and just stuff always goes wrong, but I'm like I always just kind of go through it, right? The show must go on, and I was singing your song. How does it?
Give him a little taste.
How does it go? Gosh, I can't think.
A little bit.
Oh, it's a little bit funny. And you can tell everybody this is your song. Maybe quite simple, but now that it's done, you know, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is. Well, you're in the world. Okay, love that song. And Chad's in the audience. We're in Vegas.
That's my favorite song.
It's his favorite song. It's my favorite song. So anyways, he's there. I go into like, I think I just swallowed my spit wrong because just in the middle of, I mean, and it's like I'm sitting there singing my heart out and I'm playing the piano and I just love the song every time I sing it. It's just, I have such a good time with it. And I started coughing like at this point where it just, I couldn't, you know, coughing a little bit, choking a little bit, that's one thing. I started coughing like profusely to the point where it was like I was almost vomiting, like it was just I was coughing so bad and I couldn't gather myself again. That the guy who's running sound just ended up like turning up the music because there was no way that I was going to be able to finish the song. I walked off stage like coughing, and then there were people that were trying to come up and say like, hey, we really liked your performance, and I couldn't even talk to them because I'm like bleh! Like it was really to the point of vomiting. Like I was coughing so much. Can you imagine, like that was all that was left. Like if I had vomited, that would have just been the only thing that was left that I didn't do at that point because I was coughing, and then he's in the background like, I don't know, acting like he didn't know me, you know. So, and I'm at the bar, people are trying to like buy me shots, and I'm like I couldn't even speak. So my whole point here, the show must go on, and thank you guys for hanging out with me this whole time, and thank you, Chad, for fixing some of this stuff.
The screen share since you're not showing.
Oh yeah, I can turn off the screen share.
Then they're really gonna see you.
There we go. So now you guys, I think you guys can really see me now. Okay, cool. So let's get back to it. Let me get back to my notes here. Brian says it's awesome vibing with you. Thank you guys. I mean, I like this because it's just not so formal. You know what I mean? I've done a lot of stuff in the past where I kind of felt like,
oh yeah, your performance is definitely informal.
Oh yeah, I know, coughing and vomiting on everybody, right? That's the real. But I just like this because I just feel like, especially right now, like we don't have, you know, I'm in Vegas right now, so things are open, but in New Mexico, everything's like closed down, like just shut down. So this has been it's been awesome for me to vibe with you guys. So I hope you guys are enjoying hanging out with me too. So this is really cool. And you're learning something. And I have fun chatting with you guys. Global news, right? I talked about the artist. So I mentioned earlier that one of my students is an artist. He released a song. It was just a love song, beautiful love song. But he had been donating masks to the local hospital, right? So that's local news because he's donating to the local hospital. But it's also global news, right? He used the fact that he released a song. It's a love song. It had nothing to do with COVID or anything. But he thought, what do I, as an artist, what am I doing as an artist that has to do with something locally and has to do with something globally? So these are all things, global news, national news. I mentioned earlier, hey, if you were a Latin person and you made something about the wall, or you made something, about racism that was going on at the time, that was a big deal. There was a lot of things with racism last year. There was a lot of beautiful music that had resurfaced. There was what's that song? There was a big song that I'd heard, I can't remember what it is, but very motivating, that had been out like 10 years ago and just resurfaced because of all the issues with racism that were going on. Gay marriage, all of those things, all the things that's happening in the world. If you have a song that's about it, or, if you as an artist are somehow, like I said, Mexican border wall, if you're a Latin, people are probably interested. When they were talking about gay marriage, if you're a gay artist, people are probably interested in listening from you. Racism in America. I've seen Netflix now have an entire channel dedicated to African American producers and songwriters. Here's an opportunity for those producers not songwriters, but video writers to come out, right? What opportunities are there for you going on right now? And then local news, like I mentioned earlier, if you're selling CDs at a Walmart to pay for college expenses. Okay. So I feel like we've pretty much, narrowed it down, and there's different things last to think about is, does my story involve me as an artist? Me as a single mom, I could release a song about whatever and then reach out to media outlets that support single parents, right? Like there's plenty of media outlets out there that are dedicated just to parents. I reach out to them and say, I'm a single mom and here's an album that I wrote during COVID where I had no work and had, this and that, and here's some inspiring music that I created. So that's who I am as an artist. Or maybe I had written this song, maybe my song has to do with something that the media outlet has to do with, right? If maybe I wrote a song about the election, I don't know, I've never written a song about politics or anything like that, but maybe if I had, while the election was going on, I could have reached out to these TV stations, right? About this song that I had that maybe I was performing outside of the place where people put their votes, the ballot stations. That's a story too, right? So there's all of those things that you think about. Is it the story of me as an artist, or is it the story of my song? Is it local news? Is it national news? Is it global news? Am I inspiring people? Am I making people angry? Am I controversial? Am I sexy? Is it sad? Is it heartbreaking? Am I healing people? Am I motivating people? Whatever it is, you better be doing something, because nobody writes a song about paint drying on the wall, right? I mean, that would be something. Nobody's like, this paint is just drying on the wall. Like, that's not a good song, right? And it's not a good story. It's nothing. We always write about something, right? There's always something very interesting. And so that's what, that's what's important that we narrow down. So let me see. I'm going to take you, let's say 4 p.m., 5 p.m. I'm opening this up, reading more comments here. Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that, Stefan. Stefan says, hi, I know you take helping people seriously. It said 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and it's almost 6. Yeah, I still got more for you guys. I know, I will stay here forever with you guys. Like, seriously, like I love this. I love working with you guys. My favorite thing is to open my inbox and for somebody to go, Christine, I am now doing music. I finally got my music out there. I have, like, when that guy told me that he got on CW, that was just one, and I've done a lot more than that. I'm about to share some of those things with you. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like, I got so excited. So just as excited as you guys are to be here, I'm just as excited. Okay. So it's really a lot of fun for me. So let's get down to it. What I want you guys to do now that we've gone through this and we've talked about, I think you guys get it, right? Are there any questions about the story, right? Are there any questions about the story here? And I'm looking at y'all's answers really quick. If there's anything about what I've already covered that you guys need to clarify, any questions, I'm looking here. All right. Bad New Order, loved it. Have you read the book called Contagious? No, I haven't. Harmy says, got it, thanks. Megan says, Trump isn't racist. Girl, I'm not political in any way. Just that was a for me, when you think about what's happening in news, just is it, whether it be for a person or against a person, regardless, you can come up with something that's news, right? So even if you don't, you know, have like a political stance, that was kind of where I was getting at. So Cameron says, got it, this is so helpful. Benaver says, how do you contact the radio? I'm going to be talking a little bit about that because we've already gone into 2 hours. It's a whole other thing. So Helio says, awesome sharing. Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's go into the next few things now that you guys already have that. So I want you guys to just think, and hopefully you've been taking notes, hopefully you've been writing down. I want you guys to brainstorm all the things that make you newsworthy. Is it because of your story, where you grew up, your hardships, or maybe you didn't have a hardship, maybe not a lot of hardships, but you've helped other people, maybe you're charitable, maybe you're controversial like Eminem, maybe you're just super sexy, maybe you're crazy. Like I remember being in New York and there was this guy, he was always on the news. He was in his underwear and he would play the guitar in the middle of Times Square. Do you remember that guy? I took a picture with him because when I saw him, I'm like, he's real. You know, I'd always seen him on like TRL. I don't know if you guys remember TRL, top 10 music videos or whatever. Every day I used to watch that. And that was a huge thing. He just would play the guitar in his underwear and everybody knew him. He was all over the news all the time. And, you know, that was just something that was amazing. I thought it was just so entertaining that he did that. And it'd be freezing. I remember it being like 15 degrees and he was out there doing his thing. So what I want you guys to do now is, a lot of you guys are my friends on Instagram. I'm gonna give something away. Okay. So I'm gonna give something, I'm gonna introduce you guys to a new program that I'm doing. An opportunity for you to work with me, directly with me. I've done this before in the past. I've been away for the last 1.5 years, but I'm going to give an opportunity to one person to work with me, free of charge, and work with me once a week. We're going to get on here on video just like we have right now, and we're going to work on your career, and we're going to talk about different things, about getting fans and followers, about how to get your music out there, about how to get on media. You know, I make a living doing music. That's my favorite thing to talk about, how to make money from, you know, your music. I love that, how to impact people's lives from your music. So if most of you guys are following me on Instagram, I'm going to put this in the chat. Let me know if you can see this, guys. And let me know if you're able to actually go to Instagram while you're still, here we go, listening to me, right? Let me see this. Okay, I'm going to put this in here, Christine Morel. What I want you guys to do is I want you, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to just share with me, and I'm going to show you guys on my Instagram because I'm going to log on because I'm going to read your answers right now, and I'm going to choose someone to work with. I'm going to choose someone that's going to be able to work with me for a whole year, once a week, just like this, just like we did. Did you guys have fun? I'm having a lot of fun, by the way. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to my Instagram. Let me let you guys see if you can see this. It's at Christine Morel. All right, are you guys able to see that? Let me know if you can't. Okay, Benaver says yes. Go to my Instagram. The very first photo is a photo of me sitting there on NBC News. Okay, this is one of the photos I was trying to show you guys earlier, but I couldn't figure out how to share my screen. What I want y'all to do is I want y'all to go on there and I want you to comment, and I want you to let me know what you thought of this. As I've explained to you, just the story portion. Now there's other steps to this that I'm going to be covering every week. But just as I've been talking about the story, because this is the most important thing that I really wanted to put in you guys' head. On a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to let me know how well I did on this presentation, okay? Because my goal is to help you. My goal is to do the best that I can. If you guys thought I did a 10, then let me know. But if you guys think 8, 7, 6, whatever you think, let me know. And let me know, and before you comment, let me know what your big light bulb moment was. What was their thing that went, oh man, I get it now? Or maybe what did you discover about yourself? You know, did you discover that, hey, those things that you were embarrassed about, those things that you were ashamed about, are actually things that you should embrace, because this is what's gonna get your music heard. It's gonna be what gets your story out. I want you to put something heartfelt, all right? I want something to, if that's what you felt. If you didn't, if you, Christina sucked, then let me know, that's okay too, right? But if something has come to you, because I know for me, sharing with me how this all worked, I had to figure it all out by myself. Like this took me a really long time to figure out. Once I did, it changed my life. About the whole story situation, right? Creating a story. I want y'all to post something here. I want you to put, you know, what you felt, and I'm going to be reading these. And let me know if there is something that has really inspired you here. I want to know, because like I said, I want to work with someone who is passionate. Like I really want that. I want to work with, because I was passionate, guys. I like, you don't sleep in your car if you're not passionate about music. I decided I was not going to do anything else, that I was going to go to my grave homeless if I had to, because I was going to do everything I possibly could to do music. And I want to work with people that have this like fire, that have just decided that, and maybe you have another job, and you know, I'm not even dismissing that. We got bills to pay, right? Maybe you're working a job you hate, but you know, if you had someone to work with, if you just had some guidance, right, that you could really do something amazing. Because like I said, there's probably more talent in this room than on the radio right now. Like I know that. I know that there's going to be a ton of talented people in this room. So I'm going to open up my thing here, my Instagram. And I want to see here. So I'm reading, I got Sakura, there you are, great webinar, 10 out of 10. The part of you about telling my story, I shouldn't be ashamed of it. I love that. Anne of Queens says, will you sell a PDF with this info too? Work at 1, we got a 10. Oh, that is here now. It says, your webinar has been beautiful. 10, storytelling broken down easy. My light bulb moment was something I've known but didn't know how to share or who with. Went into SW because I needed to pay the bills and ended up with an EP about my time kicking in the dungeon. It's been funny and I enjoyed making the EP, but the producer I worked with was meant for the project. And now I don't know where to go. Someone says, thank you, you're an angel. Thank you. I give this 11 out of 10, no lie. Oh, I mean, awesome. Thank you. That's what the real Ryan Asen. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but let's see. Aslan said, because you ain't answer my main concerned question. What was your question, Aslan? Sorry, there's just a lot of questions coming in, so ask it again. Dope. 10. Some more music said, I appreciate you reminding me that my story is worth sharing. I tend to overthink and struggle with finding value in sharing my story. Thank you for your transparency. Would love to work with you. This is awesome. See, I'm reading the comments as they're coming in. So just keep them coming. I'm going to keep reading these, and I'm going to choose someone that I want to work with, right? I'm going to do that. So, and as I'm doing that, I'm going to, let me refresh it really quick. Let me make sure I'm able to see this. So once again, you just go to my Instagram. Is everyone? Stanley says, you said post it here or on your post. So what you're going to do, Stanley, is you're going to go to my Instagram. There is a photo of me on NBC, right? You can see it right there. And right there on that photo is where I want you to post. That's where I want you to share it. So on my Instagram, I'm Christine Morel on Instagram, as you can see. Okay. I don't know if you can see that very well, but right there is where you can go on and you can comment and you can let me know what you felt. Let me know 1 through 10. How would you have rated what I've talked to you guys about today, about your story, about and how to do it? And, you know, I've given you guys lots of examples and stuff. Let me see this. I'm reading a lot. Wow, these are great. Okay. Oh, I got a lot here. Okay, let me go back here. I got Andy Band the World says, the webinar is a 10. You've got me thinking about the personal story more. I bring hundreds of musicians together to create albums that raise money for those that can't, and helping others while strengthening our music scene is my passion. I got here by living in a bus with bandmates 300 days a year. All right. Showering in service stations, and it gives you so much drive to succeed. Ambition is my key, and the next release is truly global and truly ambitious. Love what you're doing and the passion for it. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Bella Blatt says 10. Kaylin Floyd says, your webinar was very inspiring. It really gave me a better idea on how to tell a story and make a difference. Awesome. Robert says, super helpful, a 10. Understanding that the story of losing my parents to cancer and my buddy from murder is not using them, it could be of great benefit to others to help them find comfort in themselves. I love that, because that's a big thing too. Because sometimes you feel like you're using, like you just said, it's not using them. There's a difference between using and misusing. Keep that in mind. There's a difference between using and misusing. You talking about losing a parent or a loved one is not using them. It's not misusing them. It's using their stories to change the world. That's a very big difference, right? While it's bringing attention to your music, which your music is your story. Your music is powerful. Your music heals people. So I love that. Thank you, Robert. Mike Fresh says the part about emotional response resonated with me the most. The presentation was very professional. I'm glad you thought it was professional, even though everything went wrong here. Egan says, amazing. It's nice to be reminded there's still kind people out there. Awesome. I love that. SDM says 10 for a webinar. Light bulb moment was that I need to use my anxiety, physical issues, and being practically bankrupt story to help others through my music. Thank you, Christine. And I love that, guys, because so many of us try to pretend we're doing something. I did that. I pretended, when I first started out, I was pretending that I was doing more than I was because I didn't feel like I was good enough. I didn't feel like my story was good enough, and I forgot that my story could do something meaningful. And guys, I mean, honestly, even before this webinar, I was just praying that whatever I shared with you guys was meaningful because I'm also trying to add meaning to my life as well. And being here with you guys is part of that. So TD says, I think your presentation was very good. Figured out lots of things, but the one that was the most inspiring is that my story and all single stories are the key to show what comes from ourselves. Yes. This was one of the best webinars for indie artists I've seen in a while. The importance of my story stood out to me. My story, formerly homeless indie artist, graduates summa cum laude and finally releases an album. I love that. Look, I'm just getting goosebumps from you guys. Like, I love that we've created this together. Like, this is our experience right now. Zarina says, I give you 10 for your amazing webinar. Thank you so much. I know what my story is now. Still a little unsure how to pitch it. I'm going to get into that on another webinar, by the way. Exactly how to pitch it, because there's obviously the steps afterwards, right? Our story is the most important thing, but we have to know how to pitch it. So thank you for sharing that. I know music is my call in life. I wake up each day and love working with music and to be creative. And that's what's awesome. Musicians, we know what we want to do. There's so many people out there that don't. Calmex says, loved your webinar. My light bulb was how to put my story in a headline. Yep, exactly. It's like, how do I make it like 1 or 2 lines? How do I embody that, right? Type 1 diabetic realized true music potential when COVID-19 pandemic hit. Reached enlightenment after fellow indie artist Christine Morel hosts free online webinar. I love that. That's really sweet. Thank you. And I just love that you guys are sharing so much of you guys with me right now. That's the best part of this. This Maddie Desire says, I'll give you 8 out of 10. I agree that you can find all kinds of unexpected venues to promote based on non-musical interests. Good thought. Aramis Miranda says 10 out of 10. It was real, interesting, helpful, and just whole in a way. You're talking about putting yourself into music was great. I never understood this advice from other people so far, and I always felt being unpersonal and felt detached from my music. You just showed how to get me my music. Thank you so much for that. Awesome. Cap says, you gave me the list with ingredients for a phenomenal meal. Now I need your guidance on how to cook it. Don't worry, like I said, we're gonna get into that on another one. Lucas says, hey, love the story idea. You're friendly and inspiring and relatable, and your desire to help others comes across awesome. On the other hand, I love that you give extra time because you're so passionate, and I have to go eat dinner with my family, so I need to leave. No worries, Luca. This webinar informational presentation is rated 10 because of the connecting you did with us and my light bulb moment. Awesome. With sharing a story, I've always said our adversities and our successes are what we can share and have us connected better with others. I was just homeless for the 3rd time in my life recently, but because of the past times of going through homelessness, it was easy to overcome, and it was me and my spouse resting in the car and blowing money, living in the hotels, to now having a 2-bedroom. That's wonderful. I love that story. And you share it. Remember, guys, our whole point here is that we're sharing our story. We're getting it out there, and we're using music to change the world. Afro says, you were the first music mentor I bought materials from, and every time I see that pink streak, I remember that it's not out of reach for a young brown girl like me. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Mr. Craig says, your story is passionate. Aramis Moreno says, 10 out of 10. It was real, interesting, helpful, and just whole into a way, Oops, I read that one earlier, actually. And Brenda says, 10 out of 10, my light bulb moment was the differentiator of inciting emotion. The huge difference between girl releases song and girl who overcomes depression writes song to help others who are suffering from mental illness. Yes, big difference, right? Really loved the webinar. It was great, and it would mean the world to help me with my career. The row 1 energetic said, I give it a 9. The story portion was good. It goes into depth with who you are as an artist. I don't want to put all my personal life on here, but I've been through similar things that you've been through as far as homelessness and poverty. Troy Lareal says 10, even with the technical difficulties. Awesome. See, I'm just glad that you guys are still enjoying this, even though I had all the issues. So Maura says, I appreciated you reminding me that my story is worth sharing. I tend to overthink. Oh, I read those actually. Let's see here. You're a hero to help us. Heaven says you have helped us a lot by giving us gems that we probably would not have found anywhere else. You're a godsend to all of us. Thank you. 10 out of 10. Oh, Dog says your webinar is amazing. My aha moment was really realizing the story and not being able to bring my nonprofit more into that. Awesome. Type 1 diabetic says COVID-19 forced him into a stress-free lifestyle. Just another example of how your webinar changed how I see the concept of headlines. Awesome. The Raw Energetic said, I came up with the rise up from a lame concept because I was working with teens and I was made fun of when I was young, and it inspired the movement I made due to what I went through. I love that. So many people have done that, right? I was just reading a story of there was a woman who was married off when she was like 12, right? She wasn't a musician, but her story and what she did with her story was so incredible. And she was married off when she was 12, and when she was 21, she had her third child. The husband beat her, threw her out into the barn. She had to cut the umbilical cord herself, and she was homeless, and she went out on the street to beg. And she met all these other children, and this was in India. She met all these other children who were homeless, and she started begging for all of them. And then she was able to create this organization, this big orphanage that then housed these children. Had she not gone through those things, she would have never done that. She would have never created that. She would have never empathized and felt that pain and then used what she had, right? Her empathy, her love, her sympathy as well, to do something amazing. And that's what we have. We can use our story, and then we have a voice, and then we have music, the most powerful thing in the world, which is just incredible. Beautiful voices, just being a sponge. Awesome. Callie Max says, I have 53 written unheard music and counting. I write literally every single day. Jasmine says, I loved your webinar, 10 stars. I'm in the beginning stages of my career, and being independent, working completely alone has been so hard for me. That's the hard part, being alone. I've been so frustrated with the industry that I decided to take my career in my own hands. That's how I really connected with what you said on the webinar about doing it yourself. I have an album out now currently and working on my next EP. I recently quit my 9-to-5 job and moved to LA. I lived in LA for 10 years from New York to pursue my music and acting career full time. Awesome. M. Terrell says, we seem to have mirror expenses in regards to being homeless. Glad to hear you both stayed focused and overcame it. The Great Ross says, bro, I remember sleeping in a warehouse out of DC and living off eating the fruit in Froyo trucks that I had to drive into the city. Yep. See, this is the type of stuff that I love to hear, right? Like, I love to hear this. Like, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably reading everyone's comments going, wow, the things that we've been through can really, really change the world. Now, I'm going to choose someone here in a little while that I'm going to give an annual membership to something that I've created recently so that I can do this more often with you guys. So now that we've got that, and feel free, if you haven't responded yet, all you have to do is go to my Instagram. Once again, it's at Christine Morel. Tell me what your light bulb moment is. Tell me what happened today. Tell me your 1 through 10. How was this webinar? How did I explain? Did I explain, how to do your story? Because this is the first one I did. So I want to know how I did, because if there's anything that you're not quite understanding yet about the story portion, I want to know so that the next time I do this, I can help people even more, right? And we had a lot of technical difficulties, but it was cool. I thought it worked out, all right? So let me open this really quick. Let me get my notes. And I'm going to talk to you guys about what we're going to do from here and what I can do for you guys from here as well. So let me, I'm going to put this in the other thing so that you guys can see this, because I want you guys to see some of the really cool stories and the things that I've done with some of these other artists, because I'm going to choose someone that I'm going to get to work with for a whole year. All right. So that concludes step 1. Can you guys see that okay? Can you guys see this slide that just popped up? Let me see your screen. There we go. Hopefully you can see me and the screen. Let me know if you can. All right, now I think, yes, Isabella says yes. Helio says 12 out of 10, thank you. Brittany says, will there be a replay? Yes, there's gonna be a replay that goes out too, guys. Anthony says, overcame addiction, fighting for my daughter. Awesome. That is amazing. I'm a mom now, so those types of things, like, just, I mean, really tug at my heart. All right, great. All right, so you guys can see this. Okay, cool. So this concludes step 1. All right, so there are 4 other steps, right? There's other steps that we would need to take, you know, like some of you have brought up, hey, but how do we find media outlets? How do we actually reach out to them? That sort of thing. And those are all very important steps, right? And each of these things are if as long as you have good music and as long as we've created a story, they will work for you. I've been doing it for 10 years now. There's about 4 other steps. Let me go here so you guys can see it. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see it. There's about 4 other steps. And what I want to know, I'm looking at the chat here, because this is something brand new that I'm going to test out. I'm going to do this with you. How many of you would want me to walk you through the process of the next few steps and actually work with you personally, just like I did today? Like actually go through all of it, like tell you how to reach out to the people, tell you how to share your story, tell you how do we get people to actually book us? Now that we know our story, now what do we do? How many of you would that help? I'm looking at this reference. Yes, I would. Yes, please. And not only that, I want to know how many of you are committed, because that's a very big difference. There's a difference between me doing it for you or me walking you through the process, me holding your hand and saying, let me help you do it for yourself. Because that's what gets me excited. What gets me excited is, how can I help you so that you never need me ever again, right? How do I help show you the way? Because this is the thing, if anybody had done everything for me, I wouldn't have been here right now. I wouldn't be able to, like during COVID, most musicians had to live off of unemployment. I still made a wonderful living. I still travel around. I'm a single parent. I take care of my son. You know, I've told you guys, I bought my house from music that I made, money that I made from music. That is a huge accomplishment to be able to do that. And to be able to share that with you is amazing. But if someone had done it for me, I wouldn't be here right now. So how many of you are committed? How many of you are committed to doing the work? How many, if I were to work with you, you would show up, you know, and you would do what I tell you? Hey guys, you know, these are the steps. If I gave you the 4 steps, how many of you would commit to actually doing that? To say, okay, you know my story, you've seen the stuff that I've done. How many of you would say, well, if that's worked for her and this is the process, I want to do that and I'm going to do that, despite what's going on in my life, despite the hardships, despite how hard it's been in my life. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do it because I'm making a commitment to myself and I'm making a commitment to the world. Like we talked about, we have our gifts and our talents, and we have a commitment that we have a duty to the world to share our music. Like we really, really do. Like I heard this saying that said, if you had to go to your deathbed and look around at all the gifts and talents that you didn't use, if they came to you in ghost form, if there was the ghost of your voice and the ghost of your musical ability and the ghost of your songwriting abilities, and you had to look at them and say, I'm sorry, I didn't use you. I just thought that was just so heartbreaking. I want to just use all my gifts and talents to the max, so that when I go to, when it's my last day, I just know that I've used it for everything that I possibly could. So I'm looking at this, everyone's saying, yes, hell yes, awesome. So now that I know that you are committed, I want to show you guys some of the other people that I've worked with. I got just a few that I'm going to show you real quick, because I put this all together last night for you guys. So I told you about my friend who went through my training. This is someone who got on the CW. He's here in Vegas. This is Marcel. If you're here in Vegas, you may know him. He is one of the people that went through my training. And he was one of the people I was so excited about, because within just a week he had gotten on CW. He released a song. He took the idea of the story, and then he took all the rest of the steps that I showed him to do. And within a week he was on television here in Vegas with his music, which was really, really awesome. I was just so excited to see someone get results so quickly. And that's how quickly this works, because COVID is happening now. He took it right now. He reached out to them right now. And within 1 week, he was on local television here in Las Vegas. There was another amazing person, and I actually met him for the first time. We've been working together for 2 years online. His name is Troy. When he came to me, he, and again, back to where you're starting, right? A lot of you guys are starting from nothing. He was starting from absolutely nothing. He had lost his job. His girlfriend had taken his guitar and broke it in half, right? He called and told me this on the phone. He's like, please work with me. He's like, my girlfriend broke my guitar. I had to move in with my grandma. So he was living with his grandma. He lost his job at the bar. Like he had nothing. And he was just like, please, please, will you work with me? And within about 7 days, he wanted to be performing. And within 7 days, we had 9 shows booked for him. Within 30 days, we had him residencies. That means he had a show at some of the biggest clubs in Hollywood every week. Within 1 month, he had shows Thursday, Friday, and Saturday forever. He had that for months and months and months. And so that's what he wanted to do, was performing. But one of my favorite groups that I worked with, and I mean, this was just such a phenomenal thing. I used to hold a showcase in Hollywood, and I used to book 500 to 600 artists a year. I mean, I was the only one in Hollywood that didn't make artists pay to perform. If you live in LA, you know what that is, right? The pay to play thing, right? Most artists actually don't make any money. They actually have to pay to get on stage, which is absolutely insane. I was one of the only people that made it so that people didn't have to do that. I was the only one. 600 artists a year I booked. I know so many people in LA because of that now, right? Because I was the only person that was giving that opportunity to people where they didn't have to pay a single dime to come perform, and everybody else was, right? And a group walked in, and they were young, and they were called Los Five. They came in, the youngest was 16, and he was their bass player, and they were family. They were all from South America. And they were just so cute and just so alive. And they were all living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I remember I went to their apartment, and they showed me where they were living. They had bunk beds, and so they had 2 bunk beds, and then they had a mattress that was under one of the bunk beds, and they would pull it out, and that's how they slept. And they would tell me that they would go get a foot long at Subway, and they would eat the 6-inch for lunch, and then the rest of it for dinner. They were really, really struggling. And I loved their story, and they were talented, and they had all this life in them, and they just wanted to do music, and their story was amazing. I just loved it. I loved all this. And I got them signed. I got them signed to Capitol Records, and they had just such an unbelievable run. I mean, they were on television. I got them their very first shows booked within schools. They had hundreds, I mean, sometimes even 1,000 girls running after them. They got on TV media. They had the official song of like the Mexican soccer, I don't know what it's called, championships or that sort of thing. Like they just really had such an incredible experience. Here they are on stage. They headlined the iHeart Music Festival. Can you guys imagine what that would feel like to be iHeart Music Festival? That's like Nicki Minaj, Drake, Rihanna. You know, you have all the biggest artists in the world, and they were the featured independent group, right? And then they got signed. They were signed with Capitol Records. They were here, and they hadn't even, when I got them signed, they didn't even have any recorded music. Like, that's what an amazing accomplishment. I felt so tied in. I mean, and these boys are I just fell in love with all of them. They're just absolutely incredible. They were on the Today Show. So on the left, that's them on the Today Show. And they just really did some really incredible things and have traveled the world. And now they've all just done so many different things now. And some of them have gone off and done their own groups and solo music and everything. And they traveled, they sang, they were all over television, all over radio. I remember I was at a big music festival, and their music was playing on the radio as I was listening to XM radio. And, you know, podcasts just all over the place. They're working with all the biggest songwriters and producers, and just Capitol Records gave them a house, built a studio. They were performing at Capitol Records in Hollywood, or recording at Capitol Records. So they just had such a great run there. And what I want to know from you guys is, after I've shared with you what I've been through, and after I've shared with you some of the people that I've worked with, and I've worked with hundreds of people, guys. I've booked a lot of shows and media appearance and helped people do a lot of different things. But just based on some of those things that I've shared with you, how many of you believe that if I worked with you, right, that you could achieve these same results and have the same outcome, right? Some of you know you have the music. You just need someone to hold your hand. Let me know in the chat box. I'm looking right now. Prince says yes. Colleen says yes. Brenna says yes. Let's do it. Brian says yes, confidently. Asian says yes. Isabella. Oh, Isabella. Okay, girl, I know you are now. It took me a second. We chatted. I'm only 13, and I know I can do this with your help. Andy says yes. Mark says yes. Cameron says yes. Everyone's saying yes. Pearl. We got Leftetti. We got Ryan, Egan, Sammy, Good job. Thank you guys so much for letting me know. Aslan, Aubrey, Helio, Michael, Stefan, M. Terrell, Heaven, Benever. Proof is in the pudding. Absolutely. That's what I tell everyone. I'm like, that's the most important thing. Learn from people who, have the proof that they've done it. Here now says, totally, I have the music written. Kyle says the chat box isn't working for me. I see you, Kyle. I see it. Chloe says yes. Alexandra says yes. Valentina says yes. Awesome. So with these artists, and this is what I was been trying to really think about, because I know that money's tight right now, right? It's hard. Everyone's going through a hard time. Some people are living off of employment. Some people aren't even getting employment at all. When I worked with these artists here, I got paid anywhere from $2,000 to $13,000, right? That's what I charged. That's what I made. My life has obviously turned out to be very helpful with other artists, and I changed their lives, right? This artist right here, Troy started making a living from doing music right away, right? These boys got signed within weeks, and that was because I worked with them personally. Okay, so they paid me anywhere from $2,000 to $13,000. But for me, what I wanted to do is I've just been racking my brain, like, how do I make this possible so that I can work with everybody? So that money is not an issue. Because I know some of you guys are like, there's no way that I could do that, Chris. And I totally understand that, and I get it because I've been there. I've told you. I mean, guys, I remember when I was living off of macaroni and cheese, and I would eat 1 box of macaroni and cheese a day. Like, that's what I would do. That's how I survived. I got so skinny and I got so small because I just was selling my music door to door, and I was putting everything that I had into my music. So I know what it's like to have a dream, but to not be able to have the money to make it possible. So I've just been thinking about, how do I create something so that money is not a problem, money is not an issue, that anybody can work with me. So what I did was I came up with something called Music Hustler Live, right? Because I just thought, I was trying to come up with a name, and it just hit me because I have, if you guys have been following me, you know that I'm all about you being a do-it-yourself artist, you being a hustler. You guys are here because you've decided to take your career into your own hands. That hit me because I've been doing this my whole life, right? I've been a hustler my whole life. I've been selling my music on the street. I've been recording videos. I've been doing all these things. And I thought, this is how I want to identify with everyone. I want to be able to offer something to everybody and anybody, because there was a point in my life where I couldn't even afford to eat 3 meals a day, right? So I've been there, I've done that. I was living in my car, I guys told you about that. So I created something that is going to give everybody a chance, right? I'm going to give everybody a chance to do this. Someone says, I've been cooking meals over my heater recently. I get it. I totally get it. Making rice and beef on night. I have food I could show you. I believe you. I have done it. You've helped me. Alexandra says, you've helped me so much. I ended up getting nominated for the HMMA Awards. Awesome. And I also got to the finalists of Listen to Your Heart. Your suggestions are always so helpful. Awesome. That's so great. I'm so glad that you got nominated. Very cool. So this is what I created. I created this program called Music Hustler, and this is who it's for. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what it's for. It's for singers, rappers, bands, independent artists, basically everyone in this room, because I've gotten to know, I feel like I know you guys all personally now, who want to learn how to promote your music, artists who want to get your music heard, artists and bands who want to build a sustainable music career, okay? Because I've told you guys that just because you're popular doesn't mean you're making money. I love to help you get popular, but I really want to help you guys make a living too. Anyone who wants to turn what they love into a living, and artists who want guidance and real help rather than trying to figure it out on your own. Because can you guys figure it out on your own? Absolutely. Of course you could. I did. It took me 10 years and a lot of heartache. But when you have someone that can help walk you through the process, it's way different, right? It's completely different having someone that you can talk to and ask questions to. Because there's courses out there too, right? You could take a course and watch video tutorials, but then you still don't have that person to ask for help, right? And that's a whole different thing when you have someone there. This is for beginners who want to build their career the right way, okay? But this is also for experienced artists who are either trying to figure it out or just looking for more creative ways to build their careers. Because I know there's a lot of us, I mean, it took me 10 years. There was 10 years. What's that funny movie? They're like, yeah, people that have been doing something for 10 years, yeah, they're called doctors, right? For me, I still wasn't making any money. It took me a long time to figure out. And some of you just need a little help, right? Anybody that wants to build fans and followers, artists who want to get your music on television, radio, magazines, blogs, websites, and more. You want to learn how to make money off your music online. You want to learn how to book paid shows. Yes, there are still shows going on right now, and there's a lot going on in the future as things open up. And most importantly, as I've talked to you today, my favorite thing to do is not only show you how to do all these things, but I don't think that that's the biggest obstacle, okay? I don't think that the biggest obstacle that musicians have is for us to figure out a plan, okay? And you're probably confused right now because you're going, no, I need a plan, Chris. I need somebody to show me how to do this. I get that. We all do. But as I've talked to you guys today, you understand that your story sometimes has held you back. But sometimes because of the way you look or because of the things that you've been through, you feel incompetent. You don't feel good enough. You feel like the world is going to judge you. You feel like the world doesn't believe in you. And I'm just getting goosebumps all over my body as I'm talking about this, because I did. I was chubby, I had acne, I had a lot of issues. Okay, I didn't want to be in front of a camera. Even when people started to like me, when they started to say, actually, you're kind of cute, I still didn't believe it. I thought they were lying because I didn't like who I was, right? There's a bigger issue that musicians have that I really truly believe, and a lot of that is for us that have other personal obstacles. Today, as I talked to you about your story, I could have just talked to you about how to write a press release or how to do some stuff like that, but I wanted to make you guys feel like you were good enough. I wanted to make you feel like your story is part of what makes you amazing. Your story is part of what makes your music amazing. Your story is what makes media outlets want to include you. That hardship that you went through, that if you're broke right now, that if you have failed your whole life, that's what makes you amazing. Because this, where you are right now, is not where you're going to be. It's not where you're going to end. This is all part of your story, and that story is what makes everybody on American Idol want that single dad or that single mom or that person who's been living out of their truck or that person that's been doing things and going through hardships to win, because the world wants you to win. And I've been here to try to do that, to make you guys feel like your personal obstacles, your spiritual obstacles are not what make you weaker, they're what make you stronger. I want to be there for you guys for this. So as I go through all of these things, my biggest obstacle for me was getting over myself, was getting past my own mental blocks, my own spiritual blocks, my own issues that I had, right? I told you guys that I was in abusive relationships. I let people do terrible things to me. And that had a huge impact on the way I saw myself, how I loved myself, how I felt people were going to accept me. Because I didn't love myself. I felt like the world was not going to love me. I'm here for that too. That's a big, big part of my journey and part of my purpose and why I'm here with you guys and why I've been giving you guys so much of my time as well, and why I always have. And I've told you guys about how, I remember I used to park in my car and cry because I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to go. I used to sit at hospital parking lots, and because I had no idea where to even go. I would just sit there, and I remember security coming and telling me I had to leave because I just had nowhere to go, literally nowhere. And what I want to do is I've just wanted to create a community where I could finally be there for more people, not just to help walk you through what we need to do as musicians, but what we need to do as people and what we need to do for our spirits and for our minds, right? And I've talked to you guys about how I'm a single mom and all the credit card debt and everything. So I'm going to show you guys just a couple more things, and I'm going to get into what I have for you guys. And I just wanted to share a picture. This is me and my son, right? And the fact that I was able to, in the last year, provide a very wonderful life for him and myself, where I didn't have to think about financial issues. I didn't have to think about anything, even though it's just me and him. It's just me taking care of him. His name is London. He's 1.5. And I'm so blessed. And had I not fought through my own personal issues, my own spiritual issues, had I not fought through all those things, and then had I not fought to also learn the business, fail and win, had I not gone through all those things, I wouldn't be here with you guys, right? I wouldn't be able to help you, and I wouldn't be able to help me. And some of you guys have different inspirations. Some of it's for your family, some of it's for your kids, some of it's just for you. Some of you want to change the world. There's so many things that you guys want to do. For me, this is a big part of my story, and everything that I do, he is always in the back of my head, and I always think about how it's going to affect him. And you guys all have something that is in your story. And some of you have shared that with me, and I feel amazing that I've been able to connect with you guys in that way today. So, and I'm reading your comments right now. Dawn says, love your Instagram. Let me see. I remember going over your ads on Facebook. I had no job before having a job. Everyone says the industry is changing forever. My story 100% holds me back. Sakuro, I get it. I absolutely get it. I've been there. Michael says, this sounds perfect. I've been doing hip hop for 18 years. I'm a seasoned artist. Awesome. So I just love that you guys are, I love that, you know, we're talking about this because those personal obstacles really are a big thing. And a lot of people can use the fact, you know, I always told myself that I was never going to be the single mom story that had the hard life, that my son was going to have to tell everybody what a hard life he had. I decided that was not going to be his life. I decided I'm going to be the single mom that kicks ass. And my son's going to go, my mom kicked ass. And, you know, that's my story. I didn't want his story to be the same story that I had. I wanted his story to be one of love and support and not struggle. I didn't want that for him. And so I have tried very, very hard to build a life for him. And your story and the things that you want are different than mine, but we're the same. We all have different things that are motivating us at this point. So once again, I know that everyone, you know, as I created Music Hustler, I knew that everyone couldn't afford something like this. And I've been there. I've told you guys about my hardships. So I created something that I just wanted to give everyone the chance. And so I'm going to share with you guys what's in this. We're going to get into exactly what I'm going to be doing with you guys. We're going to get into everything. So I'm going to run through this right now. So I'm going to be offering so much for you guys. I'm going to be giving you guys how I created an EPK. This is actually what's booked me. I used to perform 300 shows a year. I did that for 10 years almost. I'm going to be giving you guys a media booking blueprint. This is going to give you all of the steps, not only all of the steps, but all of the emails, all of the ways that you reach out to the media, right? A lot of you guys were asking, well, Chris, okay, you talked to us about your story, but how do we reach out to people now? I'm going to walk you guys through all that with this here. I'm going to be talking to you guys how to reach out to these media outlets, how to find them, what to say. What do you even say? A lot of people are like, I have no clue what to even say. Well, I'm going to show you guys exactly what to say. Not only that, I'm going to show you guys how to get paid to perform. This is a starter kit that'll show you guys how I booked 300 shows a year for 10 years. I performed 3,000 shows, guys, just in the last 10 years. I performed so much. Sometimes it was 7 nights a week. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I just want to give you guys everything that you have, that you need for you, whether you want to perform, whether you want to be in media, whether you want to build an online fan base, whether you want to, you know, make money, or whether you just want to get popular. I want you guys to have everything that you need. I'm going to be giving you guys all the things to say. These are scripts that you can just copy and paste. I'm going to be giving you a training. This is a free training on how I use this one tool to actually find, you know, venues that will pay you to perform. And guys, there are still a lot right now, and they're opening up. They're coming. A lot of you guys are here because you got my book, Go Viral. This Music Hustler Pro, what I'm going to be giving you guys is I update this every year. You're going to get the update, or every quarter, I'm sorry, every 4 months. You're going to get the updated version every 4 months. So that way, these are all the lists of the magazines, radio stations, music blogs, and Spotify playlists that are independent. They play independent music. So these are the people that you're going to share your story with, right? These are the people that you're going to reach out to. So as we talked about our story today, I'm going to show you how to reach out to them. And then I'm giving you a list of more than 4,000 people to reach out to if you don't already have this. And if you already have this, you're going to have access to the updated versions of that. Not only that, you're going to get, this is something brand new that I just released last month. It's 4,000 more Spotify playlist curators. So if you wanted to get your music on Spotify, here it is. Here's 4,000 emails and social media contacts where you can actually send your music directly. These are all, I've done a ton of, me and my team have done like thousands of hours of work into putting this together. And we keep it updated every 4 months. Not only that, this is a list of fairs and festivals that pay artists to perform around the United States. Many of them, they book about a year in advance. So they're booking, a lot of people book for next summer. So actually the artists that get booked for festivals usually are booked up to a year in advance. So you'll be getting all of these updated. If you already have it, you're going to get the updated versions. Otherwise, you'd still have to be buying it every 4 months, right? You're going to get updated versions of this. If your goal is to get record labels, we've put thousands of hours into putting together a list of record labels, the A&Rs. If you know anything about A&Rs, these people are paid to go out and find artists to sign to the record label. I'm giving you their emails. I'm giving you music lawyers. I have a music lawyer. That was one of the best investments that I ever made because he protects my music. He makes sure people don't steal my music. And he also shops my music for record deals. A lot of people don't know that. They don't know that music lawyers do that. It also comes with publishing, different publishers. If you guys are not familiar with what publishers do, publishers will get your music on movies, radio, video games. They'll get your music on commercials, right? Like I've gotten paid a few $1,000s just when someone decided to play my music on a commercial, which is really awesome, right? And these are people that you can reach out to and send your music. You're also going to get my list of booking agents. There's 494 booking agents who book paid shows for artists, bands, DJs, and if you guys are also comedians, speakers, and more, like they book so many different things for different artists. It's mostly in the US. They book a little bit internationally, but this is mostly US based for this particular book. But like all the media outlets and all those things, they book no matter where you are, whether you're in Europe, you're in Australia, it doesn't matter. They love music from all over the world. Usually it does need to be in English because I do get that question asked a lot. And then I also put together this really cool thing because social media has been, really good to me as well. In fact, most of you guys know me because of social media, which has been amazing. I'm going to be giving you guys a 365-day social media content planner, right? As long as we're working together, you are going to get this every single month. You're going to be getting, and what this is if you're ever wondering what to post in a day and you're like, I don't know what to post, I have no idea what to say. Well, I put together 365 days of this. I knew this was an issue. I knew I was having a problem with it. I started writing out my month every month, and then I started going, hey, I'm doing this for myself. I need to share this with other artists because I know this would help other people. So basically what I do, like even today, where I tell you guys, tell me if I missed something, tell me on a scale from 1 to 10, tell me what else would help you. I find that out and then I try to create things to help other artists. So that's a huge thing that I'm giving you guys. This is everything. I'm giving you guys a ton of resources. Not only that, I have a brand new Facebook group. This is a private Facebook group. I don't even have any members yet because this is the first one that we've done. Just to where I wanted to create a community where people that were serious could get together, because there's a lot of Facebook profiles out there where everybody's just kind of spamming each other and sharing music. But I wanted to be able to connect people who are serious, right? We're here because, again, I'm in a room full of doers right now. I'm not in a room full of people that want someone to do it for them. I'm in a room full of people who want help, but they're here because you guys are here because you've taken your career into your own hands. I wanted to create a community of that, where we knew that there's not bullshitters in this group. We're all serious about what we're doing with our lives. And the last thing that I committed to doing was doing once a week, meeting with you guys, physically showing up and doing what I did here today and being here with you guys, holding your hand, walking you through this whole process so that you don't feel alone. And whether we're talking about business or whether we're talking about personal obstacles, it all contributes to our success. Right? That's what's going to make this so amazing. So, and not only that, you're going to get replays and you're going to get to be here with me live and ask any questions that you have if something is confusing to you. And not only that, what I'm really looking forward to is I'm going to do something where I'm not even always going to choose the content. You guys can vote. If you guys go, hey, Christine, I saw that you booked a 25 city tour. Can we talk about that this month? I'm going to say sure, because I want to just let you guys even help navigate where we take this, because it's about you. It's not about me, it's about you. It's about what you guys need. So that's what I'm really excited about. My promise is that I'm going to do that I'm going to hold your hand during this process. I'm going to answer any questions that you have so you're not overwhelmed or left to figure out things on your own. All right. And that I'm going to reveal the latest and greatest strategies that I've learned. Guys, I'm always testing out new things. You've probably seen my ads, you've seen my books. I'm always releasing new products. I've released tons of things, and I'm going to share my results with you and how you can apply it to your career. And I'm going to give you the attention that you won't find anywhere else. I'm going to share everything that I have with you. Okay, because most artists that have found success, if you guys notice, they don't share how they did it. They don't want to share the success. They don't want someone else to come in and do it. They feel threatened by it. I don't feel threatened by it. I feel uplifted by helping you guys. This makes my day to help you guys. So I'm very, very passionate about this. So, but your promise to me, okay, because again, I only like to work with people who are go-getters. I like to work with people who are focused. I like, I don't have as much as I empathize with people because I've been through hard stuff, it's never an excuse. Okay. So your promise to me is that you're not going to make excuses. Okay. There's no excuses here. No matter what you've been through and no matter what you're going through, there's always a way if you commit to finding a way. Okay. And that promise to me is if you're going to join my program, that you're going to show up for the trainings with a positive mindset and an open mind. Hashtag no excuses. They are going to do the work that I've laid out for you because it will work. If you have good music, it will work out for you. And that you're going to go in this believing wholeheartedly that you can achieve these results you desire if you stay committed, right? So I can help you create the career that you deserve. I can only help you so much. You have to believe in yourself too. And that's why I've shared my story so much with you guys, because I wanted to help you guys believe in this. And promise me, this is the most important thing, that you're going to accept responsibility, right? For creating great content. Let me do this really quick. As I can teach you my methods, but if you don't have great music, right? You also have to have great music. You have to be creating content. You have to be doing these types of things. I can't help you. I can only show you what I've done when I've made decent music, right? If you don't make good music, there's only so much that I can do for you. And as long as you have great music and you apply my methods, it will work. But you do have to take responsibility for that. It's your responsibility to make great music. It's your responsibility to also look at yourself subjectively and go, where can I, get better? Where can I, and also be a student. I'm always a student. That's why I'm always learning. And many of you are here today because you came here to learn. And sometimes we feel like maybe we know, how to do something, but sometimes we learn something amazing. So I want you guys to always have that mentality. And Isabella says, Pinky promise. Sammy says, yes, I agree. Awesome. Sabrina says, amazing with the Facebook group. I would love to be a part of that. I think that's going to be really cool to just be able to connect with everybody. So working with me personally, I told you guys when I worked with those other artists, it was, at the time, everyone else had paid thousands of dollars. I was getting paid anywhere from $2,000 to $13,000. And I still, when I work personally with people, that is how much it costs. It's a lot of work. I'm giving 20 years of my experience with people, but I wanted to create something where I could work with people who didn't have that. And so what I did was I created a program that I plan on selling for $97 a month, but everyone on this list right now came from people who already bought products from me or who are already on my email list. So I didn't run ads to this. So all of you guys somehow know me, or you're my Instagram friend, or you're my Facebook friend. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for 100 founding members for us to build this together. Because like even today, right? I'm always talking to you guys, how can I help you more? I'm trying to build more to help you. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for 100 founding members to grandfather in, and I'm going to do this every week with you guys for only $27 a month. I have the registration here. I'm going to give you all these lists. If you guys have bought my list before, you know that each of these books cost $19 each, that each of my courses cost $47. And to work with me, I charge anywhere from $2,000 to $13,000. And this was the best way that I could think of to make it worth it for not only me, I can get wonderful amount of people in here and help you guys, but also affordable for you guys, for the people that aren't able to afford personal coaching. Some of the courses that I've sold in the past have been $1,000, and I see many of you on here that have bought my course, and you know that you've paid $1,000 for my courses. And being in the time where we are right now, I know that people don't have that, and I want to be here with you, and I want to connect with you guys. So if you guys want to join, there's the website right here, musichustlerlive.com/register. It's going to be only $27 a month. And I'm going to be doing what I did with you guys today, showing up, answering questions, coaching you along, cheering you along the way, and helping you guys with whatever problems you're having, and then giving you the lists so that you can then reach out to media, so that you can reach out to booking agents, so you can reach out to record labels, so you can reach out to television. I'm going to be walking you through all of it. And as you guys have questions and as you guys have content that you want to cover, I'm going to cover that. And you're learning from somebody who's done it. That's the most important thing. Never take what someone who hasn't done something, never listen to someone who hasn't done what you're trying to do. Only listen to people who have done what you're trying to do. So not only that, I'm going to give you guys a guarantee, because I know Some of you guys don't entirely know me, and I know there's a lot of other things that you guys can be doing online. So what I wanted to also let you guys know is that for 30 days, you can visit me every week. We're going to do this every single week. And after 30 days, right? If after 30 days you guys decide, I didn't learn anything from Christine, this was a total waste of my money, I'm not happy, I'm going to just give you your money back. That's how much I know this is going to change your life. This is how much I know this is going to be amazing. It's going to change your music career. It's going to change your mindset. It's going to change your spirit towards all this. And we're going to create a community of people who are serious about this, who are supportive of each other. And we're going to be able to connect with each other every week, and I'm going to be able to walk you through all this. This is how confident I am of this, is that even though it's only costing you guys $27 a month, you still have 30 days. That means you can meet with me every single week for the next 30 days. And if you decide that it's not worth it, I'm just going to give you your money back, because I don't even want your money if it's not worth it. I don't want it. I want to help you, and I want to know that you're getting results. So that's why this is so important to me. I have the website there. You can actually pay with PayPal or pay with credit card, musichustlerlive.com/register. I'm going to be here for you guys every Monday. And we can even change the date. I'm going to be putting out surveys. We're going to see what works for you guys. But I've had such a good time with you guys today. Isabella says 97 for the year. Yeah. So Aubrey says no. Is it 97 a month? No, it's not. It's $27 a month. Let me show you guys. Here it is. It's $27 a month. There is an option for you to pay $97 for the whole year, if that's what you're questioning about. So $97 for the whole year will get you the whole, we're going to meet every week, and you won't have to pay for the whole year. So you're going to save more than 200 bucks. But if you want to pay by the month, it's $27 a month. You have 30 days. We're going to meet together. And if you decide that it's not worth it for you, I'm just going to give you your money back. And you're going to be able to keep all this stuff, guys. You're going to keep all the lists. You're going to keep all the courses. All that stuff is yours. You're going to be able to take all of it. The media planner, all of it. That's how confident I am, knowing that this is going to help you guys. And judging by how you guys responded here, how everyone has said that this has been, life-changing, I can see that even just today, it's helped out so much. So this makes me feel amazing as well. So let me see your questions. M. Terrell, deadline to sign up. The deadline is that I'm only putting 100 people in here. It's going to be $97 a month. So I'm only looking for 100 founding members. So you guys are really special because you've already been on my list, right? So all of you came from an email list or from my Instagram or Facebook. I didn't put any ads out for this. So all of you kind of know me or have bought products from me. So I wanted to offer this to you guys first because some of you guys have been on my list for years. I recognize a lot of you in here, your names and everything. So Sammy says, I'm down with that. The website is there for you, musichustlerlive.com/register. Calvin says, can I register Thursday? It depends. Like I said, I'm only taking on 100 people for this. For the $27 a month, it's going to go up. So, even just the books and the courses here are worth more than $200 that I normally charge. And we're doing this for $27 a month. And you guys are going to get to try it out for a whole month. And I'm going to get to help you guys through all this just like we did today. I mean, guys, this is pretty cool. We've been on here for 2.5 hours now, right? 2.5 hours. This has been really cool. So Colleen says, just joined. Awesome. Awesome. And please let me know if you guys, because we just put all this together. So if there's any issues with the website, logging in, anything, you guys have my Instagram, okay? There's a wonderful woman named Luna who is always on there. She does all my customer service stuff, but she lets me know if there's any issues and she'll take care of all of you on there. And you also get our Facebook group. There's gonna be a link for you to join. I'm gonna be in there. You can reach out to me on Facebook, and then there's an email there too. So if you have any issues with email, reach out to me. I'm gonna take care of you guys if you have any issues logging in, because this is all brand new. Just like today, I had problems with like the software. I'm still figuring out how to use all this software, and that's why I appreciate you guys sticking around with me. Kyle says, is it 27 or 97? Once again, Kyle, it's 27 a month or 97 for the whole year. If you do 97 for the whole year, you never have to make another payment. So you save a few $100 by doing that. Valentine says, I love that. Heaven says, I type too fast. She says, good thing, because I'm one of the old members. Awesome. Isabella says, I hope I'm number 1 out of 100. Awesome. That's going to be exciting. Kyle says, what do you get again for the subscription? Kyle, you get everything that's on the screen right now. Can you guys see that? Everything that's on the screen, you're getting all these lists, and you're going to get the updated versions of this. You're never going to have to buy these lists ever again. Everyone else that has bought one, when we put out the new like 2021 version, they have to buy it again. You're never going to have to do that. You're going to have 365 days of social media, and you're also going to get my courses with that show you how to get on media, right? We have my course that the media booking blueprint. It's right there on the left. I'm going to be giving you all the scripts. I'm going to show you exactly what to say, how to find the media outlets, and how to reach out to them. Robert says you joined. Awesome. I'm super looking forward to doing this every Monday. I've just been really excited about this. So I think this is going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to working with you guys. Valentine says need to get registered ASAP. Alexandra says yay, signed up. Awesome. Make sure to join the Facebook group, okay? Because I know that one's going to be a really fun one. I know we're going to have fun. And I'll probably do like, if you've been on my list, like I've been giving away stuff. So like last month, for the first time, I gave away a recording studio. And I'm about to post the video because the girl that won it, she posted a video of her and her dad opening it. And I just thought that was really cool. So I gave away a whole recording studio last month, which was really cool. I plan on doing that within our group too. So I have my email list, but now that we're in this group, like this is exclusive. Like this isn't the same as the list, right? There's like 30,000 people on the list. We're making like this exclusive like community with just us. Like we're the real serious people that are here right now. And I'm just excited that as you guys join the program, we're gonna get to do this together. And so let's see here. Now we'll all figure it out together. Yes, absolutely. Sabrina says this offer is amazing. I signed up to work with you for a year. Awesome. I love what you're doing. Perfect. I'm looking forward to it. Terry says just joined. Sammy says as soon as I get home, I'll join up. Sakura says, can I change to the $97 after paying the $27 first? Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem. Sure. If you want to test it out for a month, and if you like it, then you can pay $97 for a year. That's fine. That's totally fine. You just have to let me know. You're just gonna have to email me and let me know that, you know, and I'll remember your name, of course. You've been very active in today's webinar. So yeah, feel free to try it out. And Sophia says, it's not a question, but I want to say thank you for your work and support. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you so much for being here. And guys, as you share, again, I just want to tell you guys how much it means to me that you're here too. Because I've told you guys how much it means that I can use my story to also be a part of your story, right? Because I can't wait till you guys go, you know, I get the email that says, hey, I finally, you know, made my first sale of my music, or I finally booked my first show, or whatever it is. That means the world to me. Mark says, I just joined. I'm super stoked. Awesome. Sammy says, so it's just a one-time fee of $97? Yes. So it's just a one-time fee of $97. That'll be for the whole year that you get. And or you can choose $27 a month. Okay, so you guys have those options. Asian says, can you set studios to the East Coast? Not sure what you mean by that. Maybe rephrase the question. Sorry, I'm not quite understanding this question. Chloe says, is this month to month? Yes, it's month to month. It's not a year-long commitment. There's no contract here, guys. Whenever you want to quit, you can quit. Like if you felt like after 8 weeks you got everything that you needed to learn, you can you know, cancel whenever you want. All you have to do is email me and let me know. And you also get that 30-day money back guarantee as well. So like I said, I know you guys are gonna get so much out of this. Chloe says, oh yeah, I answered that. The neighbor says, I've joined. What is the Facebook link? Okay, so you're gonna get an email, and the email is gonna show you how to log in. So after you join, you guys are gonna get an email, and once you get on the email, it's gonna give you a username and a registration. And as you join the username and registration, you're gonna come in, you're gonna have access to all your books, all your lists, all your courses. You're gonna be able to download those, you're gonna be able to access those. And then as you click, there's gonna be a box that says get started. It's bright yellow. Click on that box, and then you're gonna have all the steps, right? It's gonna say step 1, you know, join the weekly webinar. This is where you register. Step 2, you know, join our Facebook group. It's gonna give you every step. It should walk you through every step. If you have any problems, you guys know how to reach me. We've been on Instagram, we've been talking, or you have the email that you get. If you hit respond, I'll be able to help you walk through the process. And make sure to let me know if there's any glitches or anything going on, because I just created this. This is brand new. So just like you guys are just joining, I'm also just creating this. So I want to fix stuff if there's stuff that's confusing or stuff that goes wrong. So just let me know. Let me see what else here. Aramis says, I don't see the whole year option on the website. So Aramis, all you have to do is, I wonder if I can click on, let me see if I can actually go to the website for you guys so I can show you what to do. Music Hustler Live. No, what is the, now I forgot, .com/register. So I'll show you guys the website here. So all you have to do to get the year long, if you want, is go down here and then you choose whether you're going to pay by credit card or by PayPal. Let's say you're doing credit card. You would click here and now you have two options. See, you have the option of paying one time $97 for the whole year, or you have the option of paying $27 a month right here. So you would just choose which one you want to do. So if you want to do the one time, you would choose here. If you want to do once monthly, you would choose here. So you can go here. Right? And no matter which one you guys choose, even if you choose the yearly, I'm giving you guys my guarantee no matter what. Okay, so if you choose the yearly and for this month, you know, you want to, you know if you still have the guarantee, the 30-day money guarantee, absolutely. Okay, again, I only want to work with you if you're getting value out of this. I don't want you guys to sign up if you're not getting results. Like, that's why I'm here. So that's how you do it. I hope that answered your question for you. Cameron says, super stoked to be part of this. Brian says, yay, I got my annual membership. Very cool. Mary says the chat box isn't working out, but just signed up for the year. I see your chat, so I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but I think it's working for you. And then Nick says, just joined as well. Thanks for being so real and inspiring confidence in others. Thank you, Nick. I look forward to working with you guys. Agent says, are you a booking manager? No, I'm not a booking manager, but I'm giving you those lists of booking agents. And, you know, even I'll tell you guys, I showed you guys that picture of Troy. Troy was the one whose the girlfriend broke his guitar and he was living with his grandma, and he called me and he really wanted to work with me. And I told you how we booked him like a zillion shows in like 30 days. I actually met him for the first time a few days ago, and he asked me if I would help him get started in Las Vegas. And I said, absolutely. So I am sending him booking agents who work here in Vegas, because he's one of the people that I love working with. He has a heart of gold, and he's not about people, doing the work for him. He wants to do the work. He's committed. And so when he asked me for help, like, I go above and beyond here. So for him, he's moving to Vegas. He's going to be here physically. I'm going to walk him into those agencies. Like, that's how committed I am here. So that's someone, that's a very big example of someone that I work with who has gotten some really incredible results here. Let's see. Hermes says, I was just one click away. LOL. Thank you. Awesome. I'm glad I was able to help you with that. Andre says, just signed up for the year. Looking forward to diving in with this. Awesome. Thank you, Andre. I'm looking forward to it as well. And I'm going to send out a survey. Don't leave yet, guys, because I'm going to send you a survey, because like I told you, I'm creating this program around you. I'm here for you. This isn't about me. It's about what you guys need. So in this survey, I'm going to ask you what you guys want me to cover. We're going to be talking about what content to cover. We're going to be talking about what you want to learn about, whether it's, we're talking about media right now. And next week, we're going to go into the next step about how to get yourselves on major television and radio. But I want to know what you want to learn after that as well. What have I done that you guys want to know how to do? So I'm about to send you guys that survey here in a little while. So don't go anywhere. I'm about to give that to you. Sakura says, I got in. Isabella says, will it always be at 1 p.m.? I'm still in school class. I know you are. I just love that you're here. Isabella's 13. Isn't that awesome? She's here like taking like amazing action in her life right away. For her music. In that survey, I'm going to ask you guys what time works out best for you. And maybe we'll even do it at a different time each week. I don't know yet. We're going to figure that out together and see what works out best for everybody. So that's the great thing about this, is we're going to cater this to what works out for everyone. So Anthony says, just joined, looking forward. Stefan says, signed up. Awesome. Welcome. Aramis says, I'm in the program. Perfect. And guys, so you saw Chad earlier. Chad's here right now. Chad is the one that created that amazing software, and we're going to be working on some really awesome things coming up for musicians as well. So he created that software where you guys are actually logging in to get your books and resources and to sign in for Facebook. So that's what's really incredible about this. Isabella says, cool, thanks. Kyle says, I got to go soon. No worries, Kyle. Thanks for joining me. Kyle has actually gotten, Kyle's an amazing artist. We actually did an interview together. His music was published on a few different social media outlets after going through some of the training as well. So awesome, Kyle. And he got one of my books. So very, very cool. Sammy says that website just brings me back here. I'm not sure which website. Sammy, reach out to me on, you can reach out to me on Instagram, or I'll just put my email here for you guys. Let me put my email. If there's any issues, you can just email me directly, okay? Let me give that to you right now. Because like I said, I just barely set this up. So if there's anything that I need to fix, let me know, because there's going to be more people signing up, and I just want this to be easy for you guys. So there's the, or did that go in? I don't think that went in. Send to all. Okay. I think that went in. So there's my email. I think that came, if that came in okay, let me know if that came in, info@gigmagicsystem.com. You can email me there if you have any problems. And when you get your email confirmation, respond to that if you have any problems as well. Let me know if you have any questions or can't find something, and I'll help you. So let me see if there's anything else here. Aramis says, if you need support, people saying your course is awesome, I'm up for it. Awesome. I just have to see about your course first, okay? Veniver says the Gig Magic system, when selected, doesn't open on the mobile option, just so you know. Okay, that's good to know. We'll talk about that. Chad's here listening to you guys know as well. So we'll fix that. So the mobile option, we'll work on that, but the computer option is working. So Isabella says, yay, Chad. It's the course library section. Yep, there's courses in there, and those are all the courses in there you guys should be able to access. There's many courses in there. Those come with your membership. You don't have to pay anything else for them. Those come with the membership. The media booking blueprint, how to perform for a living, those are all yours with the membership. Okay. Sammy says make sure you put register. Okay, they need to type in register. Yep. Aramis says, what time are you planning on doing the streams? Right now, I liked this time. During the day is obviously easier for me because my son's at daycare. But like I said, maybe we might do it at different times to accommodate people each week, or maybe we're going to decide that Thursday at 8 p.m. is best. We're going to work together to figure that out, okay? As of right now, it's Monday at 1 p.m., but I'm going to send out surveys to talk to you guys about what works for everybody, okay? Because this is about all of us making this work out so that we can get the best from this that we can. M. Terrell says, just signed up for my year. Christine, thanks for offering this to us. I plan to take full advantage. Yes, like I told you, you guys got to show up, because I can tell you how to do everything, but if you don't show up, you don't, do the work and do the process, I can't do anything else for you. I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make him drink. So if you guys just show up, I promise it's going to do some pretty amazing things in your life and in your career. So let's see here. I got to go. Stefan, thank you so much for joining me. Kyle says, when are you going to announce the winners? I'm going to announce as soon as I get off. So if you guys within 10 minutes, I'm going to DM whoever won the year membership. And if you are a winner and you bought the membership, I'm going to reimburse you. So don't worry about that. If you are the winner, you're going to get a full year.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure, Chad.
Is there any way we could get them to come back for a little show tonight if we did on your wall or something?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Would they be up for that?
I think so. I'd have to make that work out too for me, but I think we could do that. Hey guys, do y'all want to do that? Y'all want to come? And Chad's making me perform now. We did a show the other day here. He has a piano in his living room, and I did a live stream, which is something I'm going to show you guys how to do too. We did a live stream, and maybe 600 people logged on, and you can make good money live streaming. That's something right now that a lot of you can be doing that I'm going to show you guys how to do. So I'll probably do that later tonight then. If you guys want to log on, that'd be pretty cool.
I'll hold the camera.
Chad's gonna hold the camera. That's how dedicated he is. See, he's making the software for you guys. Like, this takes a team, by the way. Like, this whole thing, doing webinars and offering this for you guys, I can't do this alone. Like, Chad has been a huge like help in all of this and guiding me through all this. So special thanks to him for making this possible, because I wouldn't be able to help you if Chad wasn't helping me with this. So so if you guys want to come back on my Instagram, we're all Instagram friends. I'll be going live, and we'll just like hang out and kind of do what we did here, but with some live music. That'd be fun. So Sakura says, do you have a link for the Facebook group? I do. Once you log in, were you able to log in? Because once you log in, there's a thing at the very top. All you do is hit get started, and then it's going to give you if you look on the left, it's going to have the Facebook group stuff. If for any reason you have problems, again, you have my email, or DM me, okay? And I'll send you the link personally, right? I'll send you the link so that you can log on. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Brian says you showed us mad love today. Thanks, Brian. Thank you. You guys showed me so much love too. Like this was really fun. I was only supposed to be here for an hour. It's been like 3 hours now. So this is great. Obviously, I'm having a good time too. Let me see. Anything else? Everyone's saying thanks, Chad. At what time? I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know. In an hour? Oh, in an hour, you think?
Brownies. So if you do music.
Okay, in an hour.
That's perfect.
In an hour. Can you guys do in an hour? If you guys can do in an hour, then we
They all
can
have
do.
your Instagram, right?
Yeah, they all have my Instagram. It's at Christine Morel. We're gonna go live on Instagram and we're gonna we'll sing and do some cool stuff. If you guys want to join me. Stanley says I'm there. Just let us know what time. So yes, 1 hour. So it's 3:45 where I'm at. Depending on where you're at, we're gonna do that in 1 hour. So 4:45 for me, but depending on where you're at. This is cool. See, I just feel like we're a family now. This is so great. Stanley says I'm there. Serena says amazing. I would love to know how to earn online performing money, or how to earn money online by performing. Yes, we're gonna do that. Van Never says I have a band meeting. No worries. We're gonna do this plenty of times. Ermi says I gotta go to sleep, unfortunately. No worries. The next year is gonna bring enough opportunities. Yep, for sure. We're gonna do a lot together. Like this is gonna be a really good year. I know it. I know we're gonna have a really good year together. Sakura says I found it from your Facebook page. Okay, awesome. Yep, on my Facebook page. It's a private one, so make sure that you're in the right group. It's a private group. I have to accept you. Yep, Vaniver, you said there's no mobile version. Me and Chad are going to get to work on that. He creates all the software for this, so it works on your computer. We're going to fix it on mobile. Thank you guys for letting me know. We're going to make sure that that works. But in the meantime, you can get on your computer. Isabella said you skipped class. Hey, all right. She's like, I'm going to skip class, but make sure to catch up though, okay? Make sure you do your homework because I don't want your dad, mad at me for this right now. So make sure you catch up. Aslan says time really went by. I know, it really did. It didn't feel like 3 hours. Vaniver says, yes, I can do it in an hour. Serena says it's late in Denmark. No worries, no worries. And by the way, I'm going to try this out, but there's a way where on Instagram, I think it is. Yeah, on Instagram, and I'm sure some of you guys already know this, but I can invite some of you guys to sing with me. How cool is that? Like, we should actually plan something out like this. Like, maybe we could all do like a live Instagram performance, and then I could have like 3 guest performers. I just thought of that right now. That would be awesome, because then we could perform for all the people that come to my show, and then you guys could join as live performers. I gotta let him know. That's a really good idea. So we could do that. So we're gonna have to plan that. So I'm gonna work on that as well. All right, guys. So I think I'm going to, Sakura said, sorry, wrong group. Yep. So like I said, if you can log in on your computer, there's a start, let me write here again. Let me put my email one more time, okay? If you guys have any problems and can't join the group, put gigmagicsystem.com. Yes, there we go. If you guys have any problems, email me there and I'll make sure to send you the link. I just made the Facebook group like a couple days ago or a week ago or whatever, and there's literally no members. It's brand new. You guys are going to be the first ones in, which is going to be really cool. All right, must go. Everyone's saying goodbye. Awesome. Stanley says, I'd love to sing with you. This is going to be cool. We're going to do this. We're going to do Instagram Live, and then we're going to work out each week. I'm going to have guest performers. Done. This is going to be awesome. We're going to have such a good time. And Sabrina says, I'd love to sing with you. Robert says, I love that idea. Everyone's saying cool. All right, guys. So I'm going to contact the winner within 10 minutes. All right. I'm going to DM you if you've won. And if you happen to have bought the membership and you've won, I'm just going to reimburse you. I'm going to announce the winner. So we're going to put the winner up there on Instagram. I'll post a story so that you guys can see. Instagram is usually where I'm at, right? And most of you guys are on Instagram as well. So that's where we're going to stay connected. And I'm going to be out because I guess I'm preparing for a show. And by the way, Chad, I thought of a great idea. Check this out. Instagram allows you to invite other people on. So in the future, I'm going to have guest performers on my Instagram Live.
That's smart.
How cool is that?
That's really cool.
So yeah, so maybe we'll do contests or we'll do something. Maybe people like submit a song that they like, that they want to sing. And I'll pick 3 people every week and invite them on the live stream.
I'll sing.
We will lose all of our viewers. You create software, Chad. You are not a musician, all right? So, and by the way, someone else said that they had logging into the mobile stuff, so we're going to take care of that. So it's in about an hour. log on with me live. Let's do this together. And then you think about if you would like to join on a live stream, because I really want to do this. I think this is a really cool idea. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. We were on here for 3 hours. This is really cool. I was like, it's only going to take an hour. No, this is awesome. I had such a great time with you guys.
I called it. Just
I know you did.
I did call
it. He did. He was like, this is going to be like 2.5 hours. I'm like, no, it's only going to be an hour. But this is great. It went by fast. And I had a great time, and I can't wait to see you guys in an hour. And we're totally going to do this. We're going to be doing live performance showcases all together because I really want to create a community. I think that's what's going to be amazing about this is we're going to create together, we'll perform together, we'll support each other, and we'll learn. And as musicians, I think that's what we need because the rest of the world does not understand us because most of us are weird to everybody else, right? Other people don't understand that we're trying to do something we love for a living, and we will do anything to get there. So this is going to be a way for us to connect with other people that are like ourselves. So I'm excited, guys. Thank you again. I put the email in there one more time in case there's any issues, or DM me on Instagram, and we're going to get it all taken care of. We're working out some kinks. This is all brand new. This is the very first one. So I'm just expecting that there's going to be little things that we have to fix here and there, but I got you no matter what. I'm going to take care of you. So, all right, everybody, I hope this was amazing. I had such an incredible time with all of you. And I hope that you log on in an hour if you can. If you can't, no biggie. We're going to be doing lots of these. And I'll see you guys in an hour. And the rest of you, I'm going to be sending out the Facebook links of the Facebook group. Join the Facebook group. Email me if you aren't able to join. And in that group, I'll definitely be posting all the updates. And you're going to, when you log in, when you sign up for the webinar, you're going to get, the live each week. You're going to get an email each week that invites you to what we just did today. So you're going to get reminders and that sort of thing. So, all right, everybody, how do I exit out of here? Chad, this is my farewell. Do I just hit this X right here?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, I'm going to see you in an hour if you're joining me. Thank you to everybody else who joined. I can't wait to get this going. It's going to be a phenomenal year for all of us. Have an amazing day, everybody.